It's about that time, football fans. Awaken, because our time is now. I'll tell you, it's been a long time with no football. But here we are yet again, with football right back at it. Oh yeah! It's about that time, y'all. 3 out has returned. Today we start this off, as you know, with 8 divisions in 8 days, kicking off this gigantic season. Well, number one, it's gigantic because we had no preseason, and of course, because we have quite the season in front of us. No fans in the stands, limited fans, I don't even know anymore. But what I do know is we have football, and we're kicking it off with our usual 8-show premiere. You are now tuned in live to our 8-show Season 7 premiere. I mean, can we get a hand clap? My gosh, 7 seasons of 3 and out. This has been awesome. And I'll tell you right now, we are definitely excited to talk some football. Today we start things off with the Champions Division. The AFC West. Though 3 teams in that division know nothing about a championship last year, one certainly does, and that is the Kansas City Chiefs. Today we will be talking Chargers, Raiders, Broncos, and Chiefs. We'll be talking to 4 diehard fans, and one of them, spoiler alert, is me. That's right, y'all. I'm looking forward to talking some Raiders football today. But we will be talking to Mr. Taryn Rodriguez of IE Sports Radio. Then you'll be hearing me talk about some Raiders. For the first time, I'll have some positive things to say. Then we'll be talking. We'll have my interview with Miss Lori Lattimore Volkman, talking Broncos, and then we're talking some Chiefs. Closing out the show with Mr. Robert Dillon with a recorded interview that was from last night. Awesome stuff. I hope you're ready. It's about that time. AFC Week is underway. Right here on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports. Welcome, football fans. Well, I'll tell you right now, this is gonna be a show. I hope every single one of y'all are ready, because we are ready to rock and roll. Football time is here, y'all, and that's all that matters. We are so dang excited to what we got going on here. IE Sports Radio, we have turned 6 years old over the offseason. I mean, we have an incredibly awesome team. We are just packing on the shows. We are freaking everywhere. So right now, it is just an awesome thing to know that it was, as much as we are growing, we are continuing to accrue more great people and lots more true diehard fans like all of you out there. So first things first, that was what we got to say. Of course, we'll start things off with just a good, awesome, positive note and telling everybody thank you all so very much for tuning in. As I always say, y'all, no matter what, the first thing first, all glory to God. That's right, y'all. Without Him, nothing is possible. And of course, thank you to all you fans. Because without y'all, we ain't nothing. Straight up, IE Sports Radio, we would not be able to do what we do without y'all. So we appreciate you so very much. And there we have it. Ladies and gentlemen, that is how today's show is going to go, because we're about to throw it down like a y'all. Here we go. So as you can hear him already, he is on. We already have our first guest on today's show, because we're going to be rolling, y'all. So without further ado, it's Charger time. Sound the thunder, because the Chargers are in the building. We will be starting off 8 divisions in 8 days this year. As I mentioned, of course, with the Champions Division, the Chargers, the AFC West goes first today. And then We'll be starting things off with the teams who went from last to first all throughout the... well, actually, no, not really. I did mix it up a little bit. But the last team every show will be last year's division champ. So, as we know, today, the division champ and the AFC champ and the Super Bowl champ were the Chiefs. Well, we're starting things off today with the AFC West, and as I mentioned, we got those Chargers starting things off. So without further ado, let me go ahead and introduce to y'all a man that needs no introduction. He is all over iSports Radio, even more than mine is. He should be running the station, not me. This guy's all over the place, and doing a great job at it. Ladies and gentlemen, introducing our statistician. Okay, he is a part of our executive group. He is freaking everywhere. Like I said, he is a part of our, the head of our PR team. And he also hosts he's a co-host of one, but he hosts, of course, Set Point, our volleyball show here on iSports Radio, the SoCal Supreme Sports Show, which of course covers all Southern California sports, and he is my co-host on 3 and Out College Edition, the busiest man at iSports Radio. He's the real deal. Ladies and gentlemen, so glad to have him here on today's show. Welcoming the one, the only, Mr. Taryn Rodriguez. What's going on, Taryn? How you doing today, brother?
Doing good, Larry. Hopefully I sound good, and I am ready for some football.
Hey, brother, you and me both, man. You sound great, and everything's looking good, man. So we are having ourselves a party here today. It is AFC West Day. It sounds like our kind of day, doesn't it, Taryn?
Oh, yes, absolutely. I'm so glad. Believe it or not, I'm actually happy the Chiefs won the Super Bowl, because now I get to get this out of the way real quick. So I'm excited.
I get you, man. Well, I'm excited as well. We have ourselves one heck of a show to get into, and I'm excited for this, man. So let's do the dang thing, shall we? So first things first, Taryn, you've been a Chargers fan for life. I know you've been a diehard man. So no need for your introduction about the show, about the Chargers. Let's just go ahead and get right on into the team, brother. You talked with us. You were with Mike and I this year for the draft episode, I believe. You were also talking with us for, I believe, the schedule release, and we talked about our drafts and the recap of them. We did a lot of stuff this off season, as usual, and you had some thoughts about the Chargers draft, and that was pretty awesome. But now I want to hear more about the offseason. So, but then before that, though, I want to hear all about your thoughts from last season. So without further ado, Taryn, tell all these diehard fans, y'all, all these Chargers fans who are tuning in right now, what did you think about last year's Charger season? I want to hear the ups, the downs, any positives, any negatives, whatever you got to talk about, man. Go ahead and drop it on us. Let these Chargers fans know how you felt about last year.
So not going to try to beat around the bush. Last year was pretty much a disaster or a train wreck. The Chargers had so many high hopes, and then, unfortunately, just like peanut butter and jelly, injuries decided to come along with them as well. So, yeah, that really hurt them in the long run. They were everyone was expecting them to go to the Super Bowl, and then they didn't even make the playoffs. But again, that was because they were hampered with injuries, especially on their defense. Like when their defense is down, like they currently are now, like this team just cannot function, and they just can't seem to get out of the whole injury trap, which is sad because I think the Chargers have an underwhelming team, and with the whole no fans being at certain venues, certain arenas, I think the Chargers could actually thrive this season. But for those that are living under a rock, the Chargers just got the news that Derwin James is set to miss some time. So it really sucks, but we'll see. As for last year, I think one positive the Chargers had last year was that they beat the Packers, which was pretty good. Like, I don't think anyone predicted that. And it could have been the case that the Packers underestimated the Chargers, or maybe that was a possible trap game for the Packers. But and I guess they won their season opener, but that pretty much kind of is it when it comes to the positives of the Chargers. I mean, the emergence of Austin Eckler was another big thing, and how I think that maybe starting Melvin Gordon and getting him back in the mix kind of threw everything off. So, I mean, nothing against Melvin Gordon, but I think the Chargers had a great flow and rhythm going into the season when they beat the Colts in the season opener. So it's a little last year was a disappointment, but this year's a another year to be great. So we'll see.
You know what, Darren? I got to tell you right now, man. You guys absolutely last year beating the Packers was pretty crazy. I mean, you guys weren't so bad. I mean, yeah, it wasn't the greatest season. Trust me. I mean, well, you know that, but still, I mean, overall, the Chargers last year, you guys had some bright points that were just really. Maybe to some fans it was hard to see because of just, I mean, the record itself wasn't the best, and I get that. But overall, I mean, you know, you guys were able to do, I mean, the season before, I mean, you guys had playoffs, you guys were knocking off the Ravens and crap in the playoffs. I mean, you guys looked good, and then you guys just had this downpour. So, I gotta talk about this real quick. I just want your thoughts. You've said it before already on 3 and Out, and I believe a few other of our shows, The Defining Moment, I believe, and earlier this year on 3 and Out. But okay, the departure from longtime quarterback Phillip Rivers. Okay, let's just be real. You know, the guy will always, I believe, have a soft spot in all of those Charger hearts out there. But the problem is just the fact that, I don't know, I mean, I guess he just wasn't cutting it no more. People were talking about him just not as much as a veteran as he is. And Taryn, you've heard me say it a million times before. He's like one of my favorite quarterbacks of this entire era, of course, these last 2 decades, because regardless, the guy has hardly ever had a solid offensive line, and he still makes things happen. And I don't even care if he's a Charger fan. I'm not a Charger fan at all. I'm a Raider fan. But at the end of the day, I respect the guy, and he is quite the quarterback. So realistically, give me, well, not realistically, sorry. Of course realistically, but that's not the word I was looking for. But give me your thoughts about Rivers' departure. I'm sure there's a part of you that's like, okay, now we can move on. But there's a part of you that's like, it kind of sucks he didn't end his career with us. I mean, what do you personally think, Taryn? What was every emotion you had about Rivers leaving to the Colts?
So it was definitely a sad day when I heard that. I mean, obviously I knew that this was his well, not like I knew this was his last year, but I knew he wasn't going to come back, and it was quite the bummer, and I really would have liked to see Rivers end his career as a Charger. But him going to the Colts really makes a whole lot of sense. He gets reunited with, I think, his offensive coordinator. He's got a good offensive line. He's got some decent weapons, such as Marlon Mack and a few other good wide receivers. I think they had one from USC. I forget his name. Tyler Vaughn's, I think. I'm not sure. But anyway, I think that the Rivers now has a lot of weapons. And again, that offensive line really benefits them, which really helps him, because he's not the most mobile quarterback. He's a statue. But that offensive line definitely will help him out, and he's going to actually have fans in the stands. Like, again, I hate to bring this up to some Chargers fans, but most of the Chargers home games were dominated by the away team, and now that he's going to a loyal fan base such as the Colts, he's going to get a better reception, and I think he's going to play to the better of his ability. And funny you should mention about the Colts is that the Chargers are actually going to play the Raiders the Colts are going to play the Raiders this year, which could actually mark the last time the Rivers plays the Raiders, considering I hear this was probably his last year, and because he's going to be taking a coaching job in Alabama, and this is probably Rivers' last dance. So, even if the Chargers don't make the playoffs, I'll still be rooting for Rivers. Like, if anything, I may just have to buy a Colts jersey or a Rivers Colts jersey for all I know. So, Colts fans, if you ever need a backup fan, I'm your guy, but I'll still always be loyal to the Chargers.
You know what? Where's that gosh darn applause button, man? That's the real deal. I'm just saying, dude, because you know what? Yes. Somebody who knows and respects. It doesn't matter how old they may have gotten or whatever. The good times always remain, and you know what, dude? That is awesome, man, because some fans just throw them away in the trash like they never existed. It's like, no, you know what? You got the respect for this team, man, and you know, I think it's awesome. So, great stuff. So, okay, that was pretty cool to hear, and I am very excited for Rivers and, going to the Colts. Maybe we'll see. I don't know if they're going to make quite the run, but if it is his last dance, it is, and, I wish him all the best. So, all right, Aaron, so let's go ahead and get on in to that Chargers offseason. So, right now, it was, okay. You guys had an eventful offseason. I think probably one of the biggest things, and unfortunately, was a departure. And I really, really don't want to start things off with that, but it's the elephant in the room. With Lori, you'll see in the interview we recorded yesterday, which will be on the show in a little bit, we talked about it, and she's actually pretty, I would say she's excited. Not super duper excited, but pretty excited about the signing of Melvin Gordon. Of course, but you guys would have a huge departure. So, of course, we just talked about Rivers going to the Colts, okay? Okung, man, he goes to the Panthers. I know he was getting a little old, but regardless, he was a freaking beast. You guys would gain Linval Joseph. I think that's a great pickup. He's a good defensive lineman, strong, tough guy. Try Turner is now a Charger. Pretty cool. Chris Harris from the Broncos has some good, I think he has some tread left in those tires, okay? He's pretty darn good as well. Brian Bulaga, a longtime Packer, is now a Charger, helping out of that offensive line. Joey Bosa stayed. Denzel Perryman stayed. We have Thomas Davis heading on over to the Washington football team. Ooh, I gotta get a swear jar for that going. We have Travis Benjamin. He would head on over to the Niners. I'm really interested in what you hear. I gotta say about that, as well as Schofield heading on over to the Panthers, and Melvin Gordon, as we know, going over to the Broncos. We have Adrian Phillips going to the Patriots. Damian Square is staying a Charger. Why? Because I'm glad he's staying a Charger. Okay, Hunter Henry staying a Charger. Nick Dunbar going to the Titans, okay, going over the play for Vrabel. We have Jeremy Davis heading to the Lions, as well as Jalen Watkins heading on over the Texans. We have a lot of guys here, so I'm going to go ahead and kind of speed this up here. But overall, you guys kept a lot of good players. Jennings headed over to the Chargers, as well as Nick Vigil. Pretty good stuff there. Derek Watt now is a Steeler over there with his brother. I want to hear your thoughts on that as well. We also have Coda Martin heading on over to the Cardinals. Austin Eckler stays. Michael Davis stays. Andrew Voyer, I don't want to butcher his name, but Vollert, I don't want to butcher his name, but he's heading over to the Colts. Andre Patton to the Cardinals. Trenton Scott stays, and then Dylan Cantrell over to the Cardinals. So there was a lot of pickups, there was a lot of departures. I know I kind of probably went overkill on that and shouldn't have even read so many names, but regardless, talk about some of those departures, some of those pickups, and let us know what you thought about free agency this year for the Chargers.
So, you mentioned the fact that Travis Benjamin goes over to the 49ers. Good riddance.
Burn!
I'm sorry, but good riddance, because I still have nightmares of his debacle against the Patriots when he ran into the end zone for a safety. I get what he was trying to do. He caught it, I think, at the 15-yard line, and he tried to put it in reverse, but then he kind of slipped, and then the special teams for the Patriots kind of got him in the end zone for a safety. So it's like, bye. Don't let the door hit you on the way out. And then I could see Derek Watt going to the Steelers as maybe that makes sense, because if he's not going to Houston, I could see he'll definitely fit better at Pittsburgh. So that's a thing. I am glad that the Chargers did get some good off-season moves. Brian Beluga from the Packers, that was a really good pickup. Try Turner was also another good pickup. Linval Joseph was another big pickup. Chris Harris, it's funny because I think the Chargers benefited more from signing Harris than they did from losing Gordon. And I still think, and I think the Chargers still have some potential. And they locked up Austin Eckler. They've pretty much locked up Joey Bosa, and it's only a matter of time before they lock up Hunter Henry. And we also probably need to get into the draft, which I think is probably going to be the next segment.
Yes,
so
sir.
I probably don't want to spoil anything. So, but overall, I think the Chargers did pretty good this offseason. I don't think they did bad, but they did have some key departures lost. But I think the positives more so outweigh the negatives, and I think they'll be fine going forward, and especially when we'll be talking about the draft coming up.
Well, I think great segue. See, and ladies and gentlemen, that's why he's the man who should be running the show and running the whole thing, man. Because absolutely great segue, brother. So now we get into the draft, and I'll tell you, Taryn, we were tweeting together. We were tweeting. We had Mike tweeting with us. It was a lot of fun, and this year it just you did seem kind of bummed. Okay. I don't think you're upset. You said it. You weren't going to be upset with either quarterback, but we knew at 5 and 6 that one team, the Dolphins, was going to draft Tua or Herbert, and you guys were basically going to get the other quarterback. Now, it seemed to me that you were a little disappointed that it wasn't Tua, but you still weren't greatly upset that you guys got Justin Herbert. You guys need a different quarterback, and that was the best quarterback available. That's all there is to it. Yes, you guys have Tyrod Taylor, but, maybe not. Herbert, we haven't seen him yet, so we'll see. So, let's go ahead and pick up him in the first round. That was awesome. Great pick there. Pick up at 6. Then you guys also have here in the first round pick Kenneth Murray out of Oklahoma, a linebacker who was greatly needed. You guys have missed that boom. You guys have, honestly, you haven't had a hard-hitting, monstrous type of linebacker since Sean Phillips, okay? Like, seriously, it has been a while. So, then you guys have, like, a crazy, like, you guys have, like, round 4, okay? That you don't even get a pick. Joshua Kelly, though, running back out of UCLA. We're familiar with him, right, Darren?
Yes.
Good running back. We have Joe Reed out of wide receiver out of Virginia coming on over. We also have Alohi Gilman out of Notre Dame coming out at safety. By the way, there's 7th rounders right here. And then KJ Hill Jr. coming out of Ohio State at wide receiver. Okay, we get it. The Chargers didn't have many picks. They had 2 first rounders, which they think they literally, I don't think they could have picked any better. For those first 2 picks. And then these last dudes right here are just kind of guys that I think, they can plug in. And, once again, Tom Brady was a 6th round pick. Okay, so, we all know that. But at the end of the day, Taryn, give me your thoughts on the draft, all the ins and outs, what you really felt. I was just assuming, but what you really felt about Herbert and Tua, not getting Tua, and your thoughts also on Murray and all the good stuff, man. So the floor is yours, brother.
So I think the Chargers draft was good for the most part. I'm not necessarily disappointed, but that they got Herbert, but I would have liked Tua, but I'm willing to give Justin Herbert a chance considering he has a lot of upswing. Many people are saying, he's going to be a bust, or he's going to be the next Josh Rosen. Please stop. I trust Justin Herbert if he gets that chance. Like, I know the dude hasn't really doesn't do well against big time competition, but I think he's a very solid quarterback. And yes, I know he's that awkward 6'6" height, but honestly, I think he definitely has upswing. I can see him being a future franchise quarterback, and he fits the bill well. Like, he grew up a Chargers fan. Now he's going to be living his dream as a Chargers quarterback, and it really fits the bill well. And I was pretty surprised that the Chargers traded both their 2nd and 3rd round picks to the Patriots. Like, who would have thunk? And I really liked them getting Kenneth Murray. So that was good. And Joshua Kelly is a solid running back as well. I think he could provide some good backup talent for Austin Eckler and Justin Jackson. And Joe Reed and KJ Hill are good wide receivers as well. I think KJ Hill has never dropped a pass more than 10 feet thrown at him. I'm not sure. And Joe Reed has never dropped a pass thrown at him for 25 or more yards. That's what I heard. So those are some good pickups as well, especially KJ Hill. I think that was kind of a steal for the Chargers as well. And the only questionable pick I had was Alohi Gilman from Notre Dame. So, I guess it'll do, especially since the Chargers just lost Derwin James for a little bit. So, overall, I definitely liked the Chargers draft. I kind of give them like a B, maybe B+ in the draft. So, I think the Chargers are on the rise. And let me just tell you all, I think the Chargers are a frisky team. The Chargers are always like a frisky team. Whenever teams whenever analysts or so-called experts predict them to do bad, they always do the opposite, which it may sound cliche, and I know they're in like a loaded division, but I could see them at least being competitive. I realistically, I don't see them winning the Super Bowl, but honestly, I think they could make the playoffs. Like, I think they could prove doubters wrong, but so far it's not looking good for them with Derwin James being out for a bit, and then we don't even know how Mike Williams is, considering he hurt his shoulder. So time will tell if the Chargers can get it together.
I agree. You guys are a Frisky team. You guys are a tough team. You guys have a lot of great pieces. But the problem is you guys haven't been able to put them together for the last couple of seasons. Last year, man, the year before was a great run. I mean, if you guys ever had a chance at being this like Cinderella team, it was that season. Unfortunately, it would be cut short. But regardless, man, you guys had one hell of a run that year, and I am just like, wow, I was in awe. I was rooting against you guys the whole time. I'll tell you right now. At the end of the day, it doesn't matter because you guys, I mean, that's all there is to it, Taryn. A good, strong, tough team who honestly just has, I think the right man's at the wheel. I really do. I am very, Coach Lynn is awesome. I really like him a lot as a coach. He is what I would think a very stern yet fair type of coach. I guess he has a lot of qualities in a head coach that can really push a team and go far. I mean, what do you think about Anthony Lynn so far, man?
I like Anthony Lynn. I mean, honestly, I think he brings a great foundation to the Chargers team. Like, he's only had one losing season, and that was last year. And granted, they've only made the playoffs once in his first 3 years, but honestly, I think the Chargers should definitely keep Anthony Lynn. And I think these Chargers fans that are saying they need to get rid of Anthony Lynn, they're delusional. Like, do you know how many teams would kill to have a coach like Anthony Lynn? So all you delusional Chargers fans, stop it. Like, we're keeping Anthony Lynn. Unless you can find a better coach, like, Lynn is our best guy and nothing more. So yeah, you guys shut your mouth. No, so
I agree.
Anyway,
I agree.
Yeah. Anyway, I like Anthony Lynn, and I like his past experience. I know he was a former Bronco, but I love his story. I think he had like some sort of big setback injury or something like that, but I love that he is trying to instill like a winning attitude in these Chargers players. And to be fair for Lynn, like, the Chargers had so many one possession or so many losses by 7 points or less. I think they only had like a couple games where they got blown out. Well, not like blown out, but they lost by like more than 7 points. And it's tough losing those games. And to me, I think we need to give Anthony Lynn a little bit of a break because it's not all his fault. I mean, Anthony Lynn isn't the one throwing the ball into the stands on fourth down, or he isn't missing field goals, or he isn't allowing teams to break off like 80-yard touchdown runs and all that. So I think everyone needs to calm down and just give Anthony Lynn some more time. Like, I think he should stay for a couple more years. I think all these analysts saying, I don't know if Anthony Lynn is the answer, they're wrong. So honestly, I think Anthony Lynn's a great coach, and I think he's going to continue to be a great coach for the Chargers to come, because nothing sucks more than having to like go out and like search for your next coach. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely, man. It's being on that coaching carousel really sucks. That's something I just do like to be on that side of, because it's nice to have a good established coach, that Andy Reid type of coach, that Tony Dungy type of coach, that sticks around until they're just, that's it, until their years are done. And, I'm just saying, not that Andy Reid's years are done. I'm just saying, like, it seems like he's going to be a Chief now from here on out. We don't know the future, but it just seems, I would think he is, because he's found a home, and they're going to build around him, and the Chiefs are probably going to be a good team for years to come. It'd be nice to see, that with Gruden and the Raiders, and it'd be nice to see that too with Lynn and the Chargers. I'd love to see that. So anyway, so with that said, Sam, we got about 5 minutes left here, but now I want to hear a little bit about, and trust, and do me a favor, because I don't want to cut this too short, but we got to get in the last segment, and you're going to have fun with that one. You really are. I think this is your first time doing the show for 3. Is this your first time doing 8 Division 8 days, or your second time?
First.
Okay. Well, then we're going to have some fun. So leave a little bit of time at the end here, Taryn, because it's going to be some fun. So, okay. So now that we've talked all about that, Chargers this season. What do you think? And Taryn, give us a season preview from a real diehard. What are you really looking forward to? What do you think is going to happen? What do you think is realistic? The dreamer in you says what? I mean, literally, what do you think about these Chargers this year?
So I think the Chargers have a lot of potential this year. I really think they can at least make a run for the playoffs. Notice the word playoffs and not Super Bowl, because I think they're a few years back of Super Bowl. But I think once Tyrod Taylor gets established, or Justin Herbert, or heaven forbid Easton Stick, I think the Chargers will be a better offensive team going forward. So I really think the Chargers can realistically make the playoffs. I don't know. I highly doubt they'll dethrone the Chiefs. And I know Bobby Tuzinski's listening in the chat room. But honestly, I think the Chargers can make the playoffs. I think they're going to prove a lot of doubters wrong. I definitely think they're better than 3 or 4 wins. I'm definitely choosing the over. And I definitely think they can at least win one AFC West game. Like last year, they went 0-6 against AFC West opponents. They even lost to the Broncos and the Raiders, which was definitely disappointing. But honestly, I think the Chargers can battle. Like, that's the thing. I want the Chargers to battle. I don't expect them to be Super Bowl champions this year, but I expect them to battle. Like, I expect them to make every game competitive, and I expect them to actually break the curse of losing all these close one-possession games. So, or not like one-possession games, like games decided by 7 points or less. So overall, I think I'm excited for this Chargers season, and hopefully the injuries don't pile up, considering, like I said, they're without Derwin James for a while, and they might be up without Mike Williams, and I personally think they should maybe sign Earl Thomas. Like, I know he's not really the guy that would mesh well with the Chargers, but he works well with the Chargers defensive unit, and he works well with the Chargers defensive system. So at this point, you kind of got to roll the dice with Earl Thomas. So why not?
You know, I got you, and I think you're right where you need to be being a diehard. You know, like you definitely, you're not going way too out being like delusional. Like saying Super Bowl like this year at the same time, you know, of course it's not a bad thing if fans do that, you know that, Taryn, but at the same time, you know, you just live in your team, but at the same time, you gotta be a little realistic too. I know damn well the Raiders aren't winning the Super Bowl this year, but regardless, I'd like to see them in the playoffs as well. I'd like to see them be better than they were last year, and that's all you can really hope for as a fan. But then again, sometimes you gotta be realistic too and just go, we're not that good. You know what I mean? And I'm gonna love my team no matter what, but we're just not that good. So I mean, realistically, no matter what it is, I love that look, that realistic look. So with that said, that is going to do it for the Chargers. However, Taryn, this is the last segment, and my gosh, I think this segment was made just for you, buddy. Just kidding. No, you know what? Have some fun, man. I don't even care. Offend me, offend Bobby, offend Lori, and other Broncos fans listening. Have some fun, because this segment is called Stick It To 'Em. That's right, y'all. Gotta throw up the bolt there for the Chargers. Of course, we'll be playing that for all the Stick It To 'Ems, but this is always some fun here at the very end. You get a few minutes of just talking crap, Taryn. let the Raider fans, the Bronco fans, the Chiefs fans know how you really feel, man. Tell them this year how you think they're gonna do. Maybe you'll be respectful and say nice things about all of them. Maybe you'll be mean to all of them. Maybe you'll be delusional about the Chiefs, saying that they're not gonna do it again. Maybe you'll be realistic, saying they probably could do it again. I'm not saying, like, you know, I mean, of course, I mean, it is what it is. They do it again or not. But I'm just saying, like, whatever you want to say, it is what it is, man. So, Taryn, the floor is yours, brother. Stick it to him!
So, I'm pretty sure I'm going to be, when it comes to the other teams in the AFC West, I think they're going to stick it to the Chargers. But as for the Raiders, I think the Raiders have some good upside to them. Yeah, I think they're maybe a year away, considering they've got some new pieces, and their quarterback situation is kind of an interesting one, considering they don't really have a set starter. They're obviously going to be rolling with Carr, but how long until Carr gets benched? Nothing against Carr, but I want Carr to do well, but I don't know. I feel his time may be running out. I'm not entirely certain, but I don't know. I think the Raiders are kind of a year away. Same can go for the Broncos. I think they're just too young. I think their youth is kind of their worst enemy, especially with all these new key pieces and new additions. And I think Drew Lock just needs one more year, and then maybe, just maybe, the Broncos can emerge as a playoff team. I mean, some people have been choosing the Broncos to win the AFC West this year, which kind of has me a little baffled. So, yeah. As for the Chiefs, now the Chiefs are an interesting story. I think the Chiefs can win the AFC West, realistically. Yes, I know Chargers fans, y'all are saying, oh, that's not right. No, I think the Chiefs can win the AFC West. They did have a bunch of players opt out, one of which being Damian Williams, so I definitely think that is something that's going to hinder them, but they have a lot more options. Like, they're not just going to go poo-poo, oh, we don't have Damian Williams as our running back, and we're doomed. No, I think it's going to be the next man up, and they definitely did draft a really good running back in the first round. I forget his name, but honestly, I think the Chiefs are going to be fine, and I think they're poised to run it back this year, and I think they can. I think the one team that stands in the Chiefs' way is possibly the Ravens. So, other than that, I think the Chiefs have pretty much the best shot of any of the AFC West teams to win it all this year and to win the AFC West. So, I'm not really the type of guy who likes to talk smack, but I really hope the Chargers can pull off. So, I'd love to see the Chargers pull off a big one, because the last AFC West team to beat the Chiefs was the Chargers back a couple of years ago, which I don't think Chiefs fans... Oh, Clyde Edwards Healers. Thank you, Bobby. Yeah, I knew it was like Clyde something.
Yeah,
not Clyde Drexler. But overall, I think the Chargers can compete in that AFC West. So, yeah.
You know what? I like it. And you know what, man? Okay, well, my apologies for saying this segment was made for you. I thought you could get a little fiery and have some fun. I know you like to do that in the chat room and everything, but it's all good, brother. Thank you, man. Like I said, you're a class act, man. Class act guy, and I'm really glad to have you part of the station and to have you do all you do, man. Like, seriously, y'all, give him Taryn a couple of minutes, man. This guy fills in when I'm not there. Like, he does a lot. Like, the guy I'm telling, he should be running the station, not me. So, Taryn, I'm going to give you a big applause, man, because you deserve it, brother. You earned it, man. Thank you for doing all you do here.
No problem, Larry. I'm glad to help you out, and one more thing I want to hope for is that I hope the Chargers can actually beat the Patriots or Tom Brady. But it's time will tell if they can have their full team ready. We'll see.
Agreed. Well, hopefully you guys do some things, man. And I just want to publicly apologize too, man. Sometimes he just drop things I turn at the last moment, and I know it's like rough for him. But seriously, sorry about that the other day, Taryn, with the football game. Of course, Pierre was calling. But seriously, man, awesome job in all you do, and I just want to say, once again, sorry for that. I apologize on air, and seriously, dude, you really did a great job. You keep on doing a great job, and the reason why these wheels have been turning at IE Sports Radio the last couple of weeks, especially since me getting through my graduation, was this guy right here, Taryn. So once again, dude, thanks from the bottom of my heart, dude. Thanks again for all you do, and thanks for being on today's show, and also, man, let's see how those Chargers do this year.
Yes, I'm glad to help you out, Larry. You know, it's no big deal. Like, I think maybe I was a little too cranky, but I don't know. Maybe I was just into the Lakers game, and then I saw that. It's like, arg. So,
I was like, crap, I'm sorry, dude. Like, I was last minute out, I was at a party. I was hanging out with family, so I was like, dude, I'm sorry. Last minute.
No problem, Larry. I appreciate everything you do for IE Sports Radio, and I appreciate... Even through the ups and downs, I really do love how you keep IE Sports Radio going, and I really hope, even through this pandemic, we're continuing to keep this show going, because time waits for no one, as I said yesterday. But honestly, I'm really happy to be a part of a foundation such as IE Sports Radio, and I hope to be a part of IE Sports Radio to years to come.
Oh, you certainly will, man. Especially, everything you're doing, we appreciate you, brother. So, thanks again, man. And hey, I'm just giving lots of kudos where the kudos are deserved, man. So, thanks again, brother. Alrighty, y'all. That will be that. Taryn, thank you, brother. Have a great day, man. God bless you and your family. We'll be looking to hear from you on Set Point this week. Well, actually, is there going to be a Set Point?
Yes, there will be Set Point.
Okay, because I know we're also looking forward to the SoCal Supreme Sports Show, man, because you and your brother did a really good job last week. I didn't hear the week before, but I'm looking forward to hearing him again, hopefully, and yeah, man, maybe we can get him a part of this thing.
Yeah, no problem. And special shout out to Bobby Jasinski saying I had a great analysis, and he hopes the Chargers overachieve this year, but not too much. I love it. I love it.
Hey, nothing wrong with that. So, all right, brother. Well, we'll talk to you soon, Tara. Thanks again, man. We'll be back on the show really soon, especially this week. We got to find a time for College Edition, man. So I'll talk to you soon, brother.
Oh, yeah. I'll catch you later, Larry B. Thanks for having me on, buddy.
Anytime. Oh, and real quick, man, you got to plug the Twitter handle. You got to plug all your shows. You got to do the plug, dude. I'm sorry. Sorry about that.
Yeah, okay, so y'all can follow me on Twitter at Taran Rodriguez1, Teran, and then my last name, Rodriguez, is spelled Rodriguez, and then the number 1. So once again, that's at Taran Rodriguez1. You'll probably be seeing that a lot when it comes to the tweets, when it comes to iSports Radio and 3 and Out, the 3 and Out Twitter account. You can also follow Set Point on Twitter at set_point IE. So that's where you can find, I believe it's, IE, not IESR. And then you can also follow the SoCal Supreme Sports Show on Twitter at SoCal Show IE. So I'm running a lot of Twitter accounts, so hopefully they stay intact, and hopefully they don't get hacked, because there are a lot of shady people out there, and hopefully this whole Ray-Ban scam has ended, and hopefully the 2020 continues to get better. So everyone just take care of yourselves, take care of y'all chickens, take care of y'all bodies, take care of y'all mentals, and just be safe, and just be a good person, because it doesn't cost any money to be a good person.
You're absolutely right, and that's right. The applause button has been hit. Great job, Taran. All right, brother, like I said, man, take care, man. God bless you and your family. Have a wonderful week, and we'll be talking to you soon, man.
Hey, no problem. Thanks, Larry. I'll be listening in still. So,
thanks, brother. Well, enjoy the show. Yeah. We'll talk to you soon.
All right, thanks, Larry.
All right, take care, brother.
Bye-bye.
Alrighty, that is going to do it for them Chargers. Next, sorry about that little glitch there. Next up, we have here... It's Raider time, y'all. You already know what time it is. I'm excited to talk about them Raiders. It's going to be the first time I've had a actual nice, good, positive chunk of positivity towards the Raiders. Yeah, been a long time. So, with that said, y'all, that will do it for those Chargers. We have one team down, 31 to go. Raiders are up next with me, yours truly, Larry B. On the other side of this break, you are tuned in live to day number 1 of 8 Divisions in 8 Days, right here on 3 and Out, AFC Week, AFC West Day, right here on iSports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports. We'll be right back after this.
What's up, everybody? This is Taran Rodriguez. Are you a fan of volleyball? Are you a fan of thunderous spikes? Then I have the show for you. Set Point, where I cover NCAA men's and women's volleyball, high school boys and girls volleyball, beach volleyball, and even professional volleyball. Catch the action every week here on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports.
To tell you about the newest IE Sports Radio show, the Kansas City Shuffle. We'll be talking football, reigning Super Bowl champion Kansas City Chiefs, baseball, your 2015 World Series Royals, college hoops, college football, and much to Ryan's delight, hockey.
Oh, wow.
Make sure you catch up with us on Twitter at KC Shuffle Show. You can also catch up with my colleague Ryan the Pezquire at the Pezquire Fool
on Twitter.
Make sure you check us out on IE Sports Radio at 6 p.m. Central Time to 7:30.
Oh, yeah.
And Ryan, any final words for the listeners?
Yeah, come on in, enjoy the winning we've been having here in Kansas City lately, and don't be jealous. Bye-bye.
IE Sports Radio,
Your direct feed for all things sports. Nope, that's not it. Cut that.
Hey sports fans, do you like wine? Well, we've got the show for you. This is Let's Wine About Sports, a show where we talk about wine and sports simultaneously. From the classic Cabernet Sauvignon all the way down to the grapes that you've never even heard of before. Oh yeah, we cover it all. And we'll talk about a little bit of sports as well. Football, hockey, collegiate, women's sports, it doesn't matter. We're going to talk about it all, and we're going to whine about it all. So join me Monday at 8 p.m. on IU Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports.
Absolutely. You want to hear that show? That is one great show. I'll tell you what, my girl and I, big shout out to her. I love baby. She is amazing. We went on over, had ourselves a vacation a couple weeks ago, actually last week, out to wine country in Temecula. And I'll tell you what, it was incredible. Like, good wines. It's the first time I've ever really had like a good, like, you know, like, well, the first time I had wine, but it's definitely the first time I actually like sat down to like, drink wine. And seriously, it was actually pretty darn good. We had a really good place. This place called Cougar. Oh, if you guys are in the area, go check it out. It's really good wine. So we had their sparkling. I forgot it was, but I have the picture of the bottle and everything here. We're definitely going back, but good stuff there. Mr. Mike Pat talks wine like there's new tomorrow. The man knows what he's talking about. He knows his deal. He's in the industry. He talks about wine every Monday. He's in a bit of a hiatus right now, in the process of moving. Him and his wife, him and Mrs. Pat and the baby just got themselves a home. Gotta give a big shout out to Mike, y'all. Mike's the real deal, man. Awesome job, and they got a house. So they're moving. And you know what that means. They got a lot of work ahead of them. But they will, so he'll be on a hiatus for a couple more weeks, but we'll be glad to have him back when he does come back. And we are excited, but we're definitely excited for you and your wife and the baby, Mike. So if you're listening, brother, I'm glad you're doing well. God bless you all. We look forward to having you back here on IE Sports Radio soon. So when he comes back from hiatus, you want to check it out. Let's Whine About Sports. Mike Pat cracks open a bottle, drinks a couple glasses, promotes safe driving. Promotes safe, just being safe, not drinking and driving. Yeah. So awesome stuff there, and he does a really good job, and I'm just, a big fan of Mike. So good stuff there as always, and there you have it. So, okay, so Raiders season preview. Raider Nation. First of all, I just got to say gigantic thank you to Mr. Taryn Rodriguez. Did a great job there with those Chargers. And now it's off to the Raiders, as Chris Berman would say. Raiders. Alright, y'all, here we go. Yeah, sober driving. There you go, Darren. In the chat room. So, here we go, y'all. I have not had good, positive things to say about my Raiders for a very long time. I've had little bits and pieces, sparks here and there. I was kind of optimistic last season. And you know what? It wasn't the worst season. But I'll tell you what. Overall, watching every gosh dang game from these guys and watching 2017 is what, really did it. That pissed me off. I am sorry. I'm sorry. Yeah, well, it's 17, yeah, but I think it was 18. It's I'm seeing guys quit. I actually got to go to my first Raider game, and it's I'm seeing dudes on the field just, not going full speed. It just looks like they're at practice, when everyone's really tired at the end of practice, you got guys trying to cut deals with you out there, you get down in front of them, you're ready to go, and then, hey, dude, let's just go half speed, dude. Let's just act let's act like we're going hard and tired. It seriously looks like that's what they were doing with the Chargers. Hey, guys, just do us a favor. Don't go too crazy. We'll let you win, but make it look like we're actually playing. Seriously, it looked that bad. I'm sorry, but I don't give a crap what Raider fans say. What? Come at me. I don't give a crap. Seriously, guys, you know what you saw on that field. Stop trying to be a goddamn diehard and try to act. Well, of course, that is being a diehard, recognizing the crap your team pulls. Okay, so I'm sorry, but at the end of the day, yeah, okay, bitter. pissed off, mad Raider fan, whatever. I mean, I don't care. I'm not the anti-fan, but I sound like it a lot of the time. Because, seriously, it just annoys the hell out of me that this team is nowhere near where they should be, because the fact that they really, really, really seem to fall apart in the clutch. When it's crunch time, in the crunch. And it just, annoys the living crap out of me when I see guys just not playing their full potential, when I see guys just looking like they're just going through the motions. I can see it, guys. I've been playing this game for 16 goddamn years, okay? Like, I'm not trying to say I know it all, but, yeah. I mean, this is my 10th season this year. It's like, I've been playing for a while, guys. I have, okay? I've been around it. I coach it, I never made it to the NFL level. I only played Division III in college. But at the end of the day, guys, I kind of know when someone's half-assing it or not. And it just really bothers me to see when a lot of guys are out there looking like they're not doing much. And it really bothers me when it's like, you can clearly see what's going on. Like, do not watch your gosh damn film. It frustrates me, guys. Like, I'm saying, okay, cover 3. Okay, cool. Then we're ready for the deep ball. Okay, they're going to throw it underneath. We're going to make a blanket. That's fine. Make a tackle! Okay, that's what it's designed for. Cover 2s and cover 3s, you keep everything underneath in a cover 2. In cover 3, you need your deep men. Okay, stop getting beat deep. That is your only responsibility, safeties. Don't get beat deep. Gosh damn it, you're playing deep thirds. You're playing quarter coverage. I don't care. That is it, deeper than the deepest. How are they getting behind you? You guys have a cushion of like 20 yards. How are these receivers getting behind you? I mean, seriously. A cover 2, a cover 2 is specifically designed to keep the freaking receivers underneath. I mean, guys, it's not rocket science. And here we see this receiver just, boop, gone. And it's like, it's frustrating. Defensive line, use your hands. Stop getting beat. I seriously sound like I'm talking to my team right now, like I'm coaching right now. And I tell myself the same stuff. I get on myself. I've had guys, my coaches get on me. I know it happens. We all screw up. But it's just frustrating week in and week out, seeing the same exact crap. Now, don't get me wrong, there's been lots of stand-up performances, okay? There's been lots of stand-up performances in the last couple of years from certain players, but we need more. We need more stand-out players because, gosh dang it, it's 11 on 11, and if, I don't care, 10 men can win their job, but if one doesn't, and that's the one that needed to do their job, guess what? That's the play. Okay, see what I mean? That could be 6. So I'm just saying, like, at the end of the day, it was frustrating watching that for a couple of years. Last year was like that, but it wasn't like that. And I'll tell you right now, the Raiders didn't have a horrible season, okay? It wasn't great, but it sure as hell was a lot better than the seasons before. Okay, that 2016 year was a great year. It really was. Unfortunately, Carr gets hurt. That's where a lot of crap begins. I get it. But at the end of the day, we had a chance, whatever, things happen, as my friend Jaron would say, it's water under the bridge. And it is. But realistically, guys, we can bounce back. Moving pieces here and there, okay, cool. People want to talk crap, and okay, I'll tell you right now, disclaimer alert, Derek Carr, I love you, you're a great quarterback in my opinion, I defend you a lot, but at the end of the day, dude, you gotta step up, man. You gotta step up. There's no way you cannot, I mean, there needs to be some change, and it's like, dude, if you're not the guy, it sucks, and I'd love to have him be the quarterback of our team, but he's been there for the last 6-7 years, and things just haven't been all that great. He had a couple of years, and now it's like, this is it. This is the year where we can definitely move on from Derek Carr if it's just not there, and it sucks because I really do like him as a player, as a coach, but you'll hear in a little bit when I I interviewed Robert Dillon, our Chiefs fan here tonight, or I interviewed him last night, and we talked about it yesterday. He says it, that Derek Carr doesn't have that killer instinct, and he doesn't. I would love him to. I'd love to have him that, that he does. He gives his damnedest. The guy works hard. You can tell, like when he tries to dive, and unfortunately, it's not always the biggest, the smartest choice, because the 2 times he's dived, I remember, going out of bounds, and that's it on 4th down versus the Cowboys a couple years ago, and I forgot it was not too long ago he did that again. At the end of the day, you can see the heart, the passion, the desire, the drive. He wants to be there. He wants to win. He's very passionate. I don't know if it really isn't the quote-unquote killer instinct or not, but what really frustrates me, the absolute most, is if we just he gets where to make the big throws when needed, because he does. He underthrows. There's no defending. There's not a hardcore defense here for Derek Carr. The guy is a great guy, okay, but sometimes the best guys don't make the best players, and vice versa. But I'll tell you what. Overall, Derek Carr is a good quarterback. I don't think he's great. I'd like to see him be great, but we'll find out. But other than that, he does a lot of things that you can just tell he's just not there. He's just not 100% up to par when it comes to winning quarterbacks in the NFL. So that is my disclaimer on Derek Carr. But this gosh damn defense, I'm sorry. Phil and Phil, come at me, y'all. I don't give a flying crap. Like, seriously, y'all, this defense, I've been playing defense for freaking ever. I'm telling you, man, at the end of the day, you see this. And please, anybody want to say, well, then you play. I would. Trust me. Sign me. Okay, I'm playing semi-pro ball right now. Trust me. I mean, I'm full my prime right now, okay? Yeah, the only problem is I'm freaking 5'9", 240 pounds, okay? That's what they usually overlook you when you're that small. All right, doesn't mean I can't play and play really well against some big boys. Doesn't matter. Size means nothing. But what I'm just saying is at the end of the day, y'all, defensive line, okay, and that's actually where I play, and linebacker. The thing is you know what? I was critical on Farrell last year. I'm gonna apologize to that man, because you know what? Last year he really grew. I know his stats weren't up and over, and I know he wasn't incredibly crazy good and whatever. I don't care. He is somebody who just works on his craft. He's a good athlete. And you know what? I just want to apologize right now to Clelin Ferrell, because I didn't really like him as a draft pick last year. I mean, I should listen to Phil and Phil. They definitely, on the Unfiltered Truth, they were raving about him and everything. I didn't see nothing special. But this past year, I seen a young man grow plenty. And you know what? I am sorry, publicly on air, to Clelin Ferrell, because this man is coming to play. He brings his lunchbox. He works hard. Okay, Max Crosby sucks. I know he's injured right now, but at the end of the day, he is a freaking beast. He is somebody who was like, a freaking 5th, 6th rounder, and he stepped up to the plate out of Michigan State. All right, I don't know. Where was he out of Michigan State? One of those schools up there. I don't know if it was Michigan or East. I think it was Eastern Michigan. Yeah, EMU, but I'll tell you what, this guy is another guy who I'm just really, really glad that we can keep around. PJ Hall, we found him on the outside, and, well, hey, he did his best, but, the Raiders decided to move in another direction. After this past year, I thought we signed somebody that can really help us out on the defense, and that, of course, is Prince Amukamara. I found out about 20 minutes ago that they have now released him, okay? And you know what? It is what it is. There are many different reasons why, I'm sure. Today we saw Leonard Fournette from the Jaguars get released, so we'll be talking about that in a couple of days when we get to the AFC South. But overall, when it comes down to it, it's crazy to see that. I thought we might have needed that veteran help, but then again, we don't know. We don't know the ins and outs and why players get released and everything like that. We saw the other day, this was super crazy. Earl Thomas getting released. But once again, it was all due to just, whatever. The dirty laundry that was aired by the Ravens. He was late to meetings, or he wasn't doing as well on the team, or whatever. On the practice field. At the end of the day, guys, that's all you can really see. Is the fact that, whatever they want to show you or tell you. Earl Thomas, I think, tried to reach out and show why and everything, why things happened. But overall, you can see. So, we don't know what happened with Prince Amukamara. Maybe, I don't know. But when it comes down to it, I thought that was some veteran leadership that we could have needed. But if they feel that we didn't, if Mayock and Gruden felt that we didn't, if we could go in a different direction, okay, that's fine. But I'm not questioning the coaching. I'm not questioning anything. It just pisses me off because, seriously, the performance in the field is irritating as hell sometimes. And I don't care. You can see it. It's black and white. You don't need to have a damn degree in football to see that, okay, so the ball's being snapped, and there's a receiver, and man, he's so fast, and wow, he beat that guy. Oh, look at that touchdown. Seriously, and I don't care. I will riot. I don't give a crap. I'm telling you, I do not care. I will throw it on the defense 1,000,000% of the time. I know, like Phil Jones and Phil Robinson love to say, and once again, I told you already, Carr's no saint. Yeah, the dude is throwing the ball out of bounds on fourth down and doing crap that's like annoying, and I get it, but that's everybody. At the end of the day, it doesn't matter. Defense, y'all. Defense. If they don't score, we don't lose. That has been ingrained into my mind since I've been playing football, y'all. That's just all there is to it. Defense is everything. Don't leave it up to the offense. I know I'm a fan of the whole team, but I am a defensive guy, and it pisses me off when we're giving up points and points and points and points, and teams are literally just driving down the field like it's no one's no one's deal, and then you see a demoralized defense like, oh, it's okay, well then, it's cool. We got our check anyway. It's what it seems like. I mean, seriously, it's really irritating, guys. That may not be how it really is, but that's just what I see. I can't help it. I've been playing for way too long to just sit here and I get pissed. I'm screaming at the TV. I'm pissed off. Yeah, I'm one of those guys. It just pisses me off when I see guys just going through the gosh damn motions, especially when it's like it's over. Like, they know it's over. Like, oh yeah, we're only down by 2 touchdowns, but it's the fourth quarter. We're probably going to lose, so let's just pack it up. It's like, seriously, guys. Like, and some of them, for the ones who keep fighting, like Clelin Ferrell and Max Crosby, I appreciate you guys so much. So let's go ahead and get on in. That was my piece right there, but that's the reason why I've been so mad over the last couple of seasons. Last year, guys, okay, now let's go ahead and get into the positivity. Last year, I actually saw a lot of positives. We saw some good play. Our DBs actually covered, which was a surprise. Our linebackers were playing sideline to sideline. I like it. It wasn't the best, but I saw a change, that there was at least some balls being played, or balls that were displayed, okay, behind football here, okay? Some guys were actually not afraid to hit somebody, or not afraid to keep up. I mean, I felt like there was just they knew they were going to get beat off the line, so it's like, that's alright, cool, just let him go. And yep, there it is, 6 points in the end zone. I mean, fade route. I mean, it's just really annoying. So last year, I just felt like it was a really good change. It wasn't the best. I know for damn sure we weren't the best team out there, but it was much better than what we saw the last couple years before that, okay? So let's go ahead and jump into the chat room real fast and see what we got before we get into the free agents here. So, alright, yes, Sober Driving Terran says, you and me both. Misery loves company. It's annoying, isn't it? It really is. But, at the end of the day, it's like you just gotta, you love your team, you stick with them, but you can't be afraid to call them out. Let's see. Bobby Zdzinski in here. He says, history isn't on the Raiders' side. For teams that relocate to a new city. The best case scenario would be to have a season like the Chargers had in 2017, going 9-7, but not starting off 0-4 like that Chargers team. Good stuff there. Okay, well, I didn't even know that about new teams, but hopefully the Raiders can I don't want to say break that, but at least do something good with it and make a nice run. Darren says here, if one of the Chargers didn't have a bad kicker, they might have made the playoffs. What's going on, Marcus? In the chat room here, so what up, though, Marcus? Good to have you in the chat room, brother. And then we have Darren here saying, you make a good point, Larry. Carr isn't the only one giving up 30 points. Thank you! He isn't the one giving up 31 points to the Jets or 42 to the Chiefs. It's the truth. No, it's the truth. That's not Carr's fault. I don't give a crap if the gosh damn offense can't stay on the field. Okay, and trust me, it sucks. It freaking sucks. When you're like, okay, start off the game, get out there. Yeah, we start the game off on defense. 3 and out. Yeah, baby, let's go. Offense gets out there. Drive. Ah, damn it. Turnover. Or shit, sorry, excuse my language, but, oh, dang it. They couldn't get anything. Or maybe even a field goal is nice, but, but okay, didn't get anything. Maybe a freaking turnover, a fumble on the first play, or whatever it may be. Okay, get back out there and play again. Hey, we get another 3 and out. Or maybe they drove for a little bit and then we got the ball back. Yay. Offense gets back out there, interception. Okay, this is getting frustrating, but it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. When your boss tells you something, are you mad? Of course you are. But what do? You perform. Because you're going to get freaking fired if you don't, am I right? You're sitting there at work doing whatever, and hey, I need you to do this for me. All right, cool, no problem. Hey, I need you to do this for me. All right, that's cool. Hey, I need you to do this for me. Okay, you're getting kind of annoying. Like, damn, this is a lot in one day. Hey, I need you to do this for me. Okay, this is really frustrating. This guy's a jerk. Like, this lady, she's annoying. Like, or whatever. Like, but what do? You do the damn work. You do it because it's your freaking job. You know what I mean? Like, you do it. You perform. You do what you got to do. You're going to get fired if you don't do it. Well, that's the same exact way that I see defense. And yes, okay, bend don't break. And do we break? All the time. It happens. Okay, you're an idiot if you think. Well, I'm sorry, but as a player. Okay, you're a ding dong if you think that you're not going to ever give up any points ever in your career. Okay, it's pretty cool when you can have a shutout, but that's not just you. That's you and the other 10 guys out there, the other 10 players out there. But it just really frustrates me when it's like, yeah, we know you're tired, we know, but you should be in shape. You should be ready to play all 4 freaking quarters. You should be ready to go. It doesn't matter when. And I've had tribute to that too. It sucks. I know when you have to go hard and you're freaking dead by the second quarter because you've been playing so much in the offense and not staying on the field. I know, guys, it sucks. It really freaking sucks. But it doesn't matter. That's your job. That's what you do. You should be out there every single time. Defense shouldn't ever be on the field. Offense should be out there driving, having fun. That's exactly ideal football. Does that ever happen? Very seldomly. And in the NFL, it doesn't happen very much. So when it comes down to it, it's like freaking play football, guys. Play football. But, okay, rant over, but I just gotta tell you right now, the new acquisitions are awesome. This is courtesy of Raiders.com. Nelson Aguilar, okay, I know he had the case of the drops, okay, in Philadelphia towards the end of his career there, but I don't give a crap. The guy is still a good receiver. He is a USC guy. I'm a USC guy. I have sympathy for him. My apologies, but I think he can come to Las Vegas and do something good here. I'm really excited for him. Malik Collins, defensive tackle. All right, big boy, let's see what you got, man. Put your hand in the dirt and go balls out. I'm ready for it. Okay, Jeff Heath, safety. All right, maybe we got somebody who won't get freaking beat deep here. I'm sorry, but okay. Eric Kush, offensive line. Let's go, big man. Okay, we need some big boys. We need some more girth on that line. Okay, Nick Kwiatkowski, I believe, linebacker. I honestly don't know who he is. But if the guy's a hard hitter and if he can play side on the sideline, I want him to play on this team. Corey Littleton, another linebacker. The same deal, okay? Two linebackers here that could possibly be dudes who can make some kind of a difference. Okay, Littleton, playing for Washington for a couple of years. He's 5 years in the league now. I mean, overall, guys, you know, he's an ex-Ram, okay? And I just want to see Nick real quick where he was from, because let's see, he 5 years in as well, and I think he's from West Virginia, so he must have played with Carl Joseph a couple of years back. And yeah, okay, he's been a Raider. See, that's what sucks is why I don't even know their names, because it's like really, like, you know what I mean? Like, there's no plays being made. Like, it is what it is. But I don't know. Okay, so Marcus Mariota, of course, everyone's talking about him overtaking Carr's job. If he does, then okay, then so be it, guys. So be it. So be it. It is what it is. If he takes Carr's job, let him take Carr's job. If Carr's not performing and doing his job, then he needs to be out of there too. Okay, and if Mariota's the answer, then Mariota needs to be the guy taking the snaps. And that's all there is to it, guys. I'm not sitting here siding with, trying to be sympathetic for Carr and on the defense, but it just pisses me off when the gosh damn defense can't keep teams, can't keep teams out of the end zone. It's freaking annoying. Okay, that's all there is to it. So okay. We have here Carl Nassib, defensive end. All right, big man. Okay, we got somebody there. We got Nick O'Leary at tight end. We got Demarius Randall. That should be a good pickup there. Daniel Ross, that tackle. And then, of course, Jason Witten, the old man. Just kidding. No, Jason Witten coming in, playing tight end. I'm really excited to see what he can do this year. And, it's gonna be pretty sweet. So with that said, y'all, we got a lot of good re-signings too. I'm not gonna go over all of them. But overall, I did like our free agency. I felt like one of the biggest pickups, and I know everyone's gonna be like, are you serious? But I like Nelson Aguilar. I really hope he can come in there and do something big for us. And it's gonna be really exciting to see what he can do. Also, Littleton. I had to look too to make sure who he was, but yeah, I remember him from the Rams. But the guy, at the end of the day, we need something. We need linebackers. Okay, not just one. We need more. But realistically, I'm just really excited to see that we're making some moves, and at least it's not horrible. Okay, at least it's not like we could have had this, but you passed up. You know what I mean? So let's see here. Terrence says, I hear Mariota is hurt. If Carr gets benched with Mariota out, the Raiders will have. We'll have to resort to Nathan Peterman. Yeah, it sounds like that. That's right. Yeah, I didn't hear about that actually, but yeah, if Mariota's hurt, then it is what it is. Next man up. But in the season, at any given point, Mariota's healthy. However it goes down, it is what it is. We just got to make sure someone can get back there and take the gosh dang snaps. And once again, yes, we need that to happen. We need our quarterback. Okay, quarterback is the most important position in football. But what do we not need? We do not need our defense to be like, it's vacation time because, our quarterback's hurt, so let's just forget about defense because, we're going to lose anyway, so we can just take a vacation. It's cool. We don't need to win. You know what I mean? Like, no. Like, seriously, it's what it seriously seems like. Like, whenever the quarterback goes down, it's like, you're supposed to play harder, right? Because the offense is going to struggle a little bit. So defense, now you really need to buckle down. You need to play balls out every single play. And it's like, no, we're cool. We don't want to do that. So it's like, we need to stop that nonsense. And that happened a couple years back. Last year, once again, it wasn't so much like that. I'm just telling you guys what I've seen the last couple of years, not including, so the last couple of years before last year. Last year was a lot better. And I was really excited to see what they were capable of doing, okay, I know what they're capable of doing, and it was awesome to see them actually play that out. So, all right, let's get on over to the draft picks here, courtesy of Raiders.com, and talk about these pickups here, shall we? So, first things first, I was ecstatic that we got Henry Ruggs. The guy is a monster. He is so freaking fast, and I was hoping we either get him. Actually, there was a couple receivers out there. But even C.D. Lamb was a guy that I was like, let's get him. Doesn't matter. I just knew that we needed a dang good receiver. We need that one. We haven't had a number one in a long time, okay? Like, seriously, I feel like we can go back to, like, Jerry Rice and Tim Brown, the last time we had, like, a true one receiver. You know what I mean? Like, in that era, okay? And that was, like, 1-2, both those guys. I mean, they were both ones on each side. They were amazing receivers. We have to go back to when the Raiders were actually relevant, okay? In order for, like, to see the last time we had true receivers, number one receivers, okay, wideouts. So I am just excited to see that we have somebody who has potential to do that. He's not that yet. Okay, Alabama he was, but this is the NFL. So let's see what he can do. I'm very excited to see what he can do. I heard, I think he's doing great things in the training camp. I haven't kept up too much, but I'm excited for that. Next up, Damon Arnett. You know what? Give him a gosh dang chance. The dude is a hell of an athlete, it seems like. Okay, I've heard some great things from Phil and Phil. The guy is a great player, okay, from what I can see. Okay, I love what it says here, okay? In 2019, Arnett played in 13 games and earned a second team all Big Ten honors. The Big Ten's a really big deal, guys. So, I mean, for him to get second team even is pretty dang big. He got 35 tackles, let's see here. 1 interception, pretty darn good. Okay, and he forced a fumble. Okay, the key here is tackles. He made 35 tackles. Or it says 27 here in parentheses. I don't know what they mean by that. But regardless, look, guys, he can tackle. We, for some reason, don't know how to freaking tackle. So, making a tackle, once again, as I mentioned earlier, cover 2, you keep everybody underneath you, right? Yeah, then why are guys still breaking out and getting touchdowns? Tackle! You know what I mean? Like, come on, man. So, it's like, we need that. We need that guys who can wrap up. I don't care. Big hits are no big deal. Who cares about the big hits? No, I mean, at the end of the day, I don't want to see nobody get hurt. I just want to see a good bring down. Wrap them up and bring them down. That's all there is to it. I mean, really. So, I don't know. I don't think anybody's out there trying to hurt anybody anyway to, jeopardize their career. But I'm just saying, like, at the end of the day, it's this good, solid form tackling. So, yeah, I like this pickup. At first, I was like, whoa. But then you start to read about him, like, right now. Like, I'm really getting into his stats, and he played a lot. I mean, he did a lot at Ohio State, and also playing there. I mean, Coach Day, great coach, and he produces great athletes. And right now, Ohio State, I mean, they're still a tip-top team. I really like this pickup. Okay, then we get in here to, let's see, where are we at? Okay, so then we go ahead and get on into running back Lynn Bowden Jr. Of course, Phil and Phil had him on the Unfiltered Truth. Awesome stuff, man. This young man out of Kentucky was a big part of that team's success in the last couple of years. Kentucky, people forgot that it was that it had other sports, not just basketball, when he stepped in, okay? I am super excited. I mean, I'll tell you right now, this is absolutely awesome to see Bowden play as well. To see Bowden, play as well as he did in Kentucky, and to know that is coming to Las Vegas. That is really exciting. So let's see here. Big ups to Taryn. Oh, Taryn said take it off. All right, man. Well, yeah, man. Go show Ben some love. By the way, the first annual BS3 Awards going on tonight on Facebook Live. So go check that out. Of course, we definitely got to support Ben, man. Ben's helped us out a lot here at IE Sports Radio. So go show Ben some love over there on the weekend wrap up as well. All over on BS3 Radio. And those awards tonight at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time, 5:30 p.m. Pacific Time. So it should be some good stuff there. So, alrighty. Next up, we have here Bowden. We have Bowden. I think he's going to do a great job. Also, Brian Edwards, another wide receiver here. A little bit of a later pickup. But regardless, this guy hopefully can help make some moves for us and make some nice catches. Overall, we have some pretty decent receivers already. But you already know, Gruden wants to make a powerhouse of receivers. That's okay with me. I think that'd be great. Tanner Muse, linebacker. Well, hey, let's see what he's got here. I mean, he is from Clemson, and Clemson, Coach Dabo Swinney definitely knows how to make some real good players over there. Maybe he just fell through the cracks, and you know what? If Tanner Muse can come on in and do something big for us, I mean, I seriously think that we need that type. We need some freaking real linebackers. Who cares about the big names, whatever. No, we need guys who are actually going to do the gosh damn job. That's all there is to it. The hype about the big names is what it is, but it's like we don't need to go out there and sign the biggest linebacker name possible. We need to go sign guys who are actually going to do the damn job. And at Clemson, it seems like they do their damn job. I mean, they win national championships, just saying. So, overall, it's just fundamentals and getting back to those simple things. I'd rather be a guy who doesn't have the biggest name, but who does his job and everybody respects, versus somebody who, has the big name and may or may not have a good season every year, because the hype, maybe not, I don't know. But I'm just saying, at the end of the day, I just really feel like, we're getting good pieces that I really feel Mayock is really doing his homework on these guys. So that's what I'm saying about Farrell. Farrell's somebody you can see him, he's growing as a player, and I'm very excited for this young man's future, I really am. John Simpson at guard. We need that. We need, more beef on that offensive line. Big tough guy. Seems like he's, pretty solid overall. I mean, he's an ACC player. And overall, I mean, this is pretty cool. He won the Outland Trophy. Oh, sorry, no, he was an Outland Trophy semifinalist. So it's like, great stuff. He was recognized. And realistically, we have somebody here who can really step up if we need him to. I don't think he'll start. But overall, I'm just glad that we were able to pick somebody up who can add depth, okay? Let's see here. Mick Robertson, corner. Well, we definitely need some depth there, okay? So he played for Louisiana Tech, and once again, we just, we can use the depth and, maybe, who knows, I haven't seen any of him or anything, but we'll see how that ball works out. But overall, guys, I gave our draft like a solid B+. Wasn't the greatest. Actually, I think I gave us an A- overall, because I feel like we addressed everything we needed to address, and we made the moves we needed to make, or we didn't make any moves, but we picked up the players we needed to pick up, is what I'm saying. Henry Ruggs was definitely a chart jumper right there. Damon Arnett, I don't care what people can say, oh, you could pick him up later on, whatever. This guy, I said that about Clelin Ferrell. You know what? Ferrell's going to be doing great things, so I admit I was wrong about that. I think Damon Arnett's one of those guys where we picked him up right when we needed to. And he's going to be a star for us, I feel. Lynn Bowden Jr., amazing player. I'm telling you, you bring up that kind of talent, okay? You bring that kind of talent up. That was at Kentucky. That was just making a game changer for a team, a football program who was seriously not even relevant, okay, the last couple of, in the last 5 years. And now out of nowhere, the last, 2 or 3 years, Kentucky has actually been a force to reckon with. Well, having a guy who is not just a part of that senior class, but who has been there since he was like a sophomore or maybe even a freshman. I don't know what year he came out in. But I'm just saying, somebody who has that type of mentality, somebody who can put that kind of work in, it's awesome. Also, like I said, Brian Edwards, more receivers. I mean, overall, I thought we did a really good job, and I'm really happy for the Raiders. I'm moving forward into this year. Okay, so overall, I'm going to wrap it up real quick, a little bit over on time right now. But overall, guys, I got to tell you right now, this is a special season. I am really excited for what we got going on. I am very, very, very excited for all of the... for everything we got going on with this Raiders team this year. Overall, I don't want to say that we're going to sit here and make the Super Bowl. The same thing that Taryn did. I'm not going to sit here and be like, oh yeah, we're a Super Bowl winning team. We are not a Super Bowl winning team right now. I will tell you that right now. But I will also tell you that we are a good, strong, tough team with a lot of grit that can get in there and ball. Okay? Whether we win or not, that's up to us. Right now, I just want to see good football. If we can do 7-9 again, I'm cool. If we can do 8-8 again, I'm cool. If we can do 9-7 again, I'm cool. Oh, sorry, we can do 8-8. Yeah, because we had that in the last decade. But if we can go anywhere from 7-9 to 9-7, you know what? I think that's a successful season. Say what you want to say, but I'm not giving extremely high expectations at the moment because I know this team is rebuilding. I know that we're not where we need to be yet. Don't get me wrong. I want us to be 10-6, 11-5, and so on and so on. But what I want to see the most of is improvements. By this time next year, we have a good season this year. Got a lot of guys grew. A lot of guys had things to grow on. Next year, we have a good draft. Another all good off season. maybe next year I'll be talking like, you know what? We can do 10-6. We can do 11-5. We surprised everybody last year. Maybe we can win the division. But right now, with the Chiefs as good as they are, and with the Broncos looking pretty darn good as well, and the Chargers, you never know. I'm not gonna give us this high record because I just want to be real about them. I love my team, but that's all there is to it, guys. I love my team, and I'm not gonna sit here and say that we're capable of something that we may or may not be capable of. So I need to see some growth from this team this year. But overall, that's the product we have right now on the field. We have a great coach. We have a great general manager. We have a great owner. I am so excited. I'm a Raider fan for life, y'all. I love this team. But I just want to make sure, I just want to see us continue to grow. If we break out this year with the Super Bowl, don't get me wrong, I'm super excited. I'm happy. But I'm just saying that from a realistic viewpoint, it just looks like we may not be there just yet. But we're definitely on our way. So, all right, y'all. So now I'm going to give a little bit of a stick it to him here. That was a lot of fun. But I'm not going to get too crazy either. Overall, let me go ahead and stick it to him here. First things first, the Chargers. I mean, you can't say much about this team because they're damned if they do, they're damned if they don't. If they do win, it's like, well, then, everyone expects them to make a deep run. And if they don't win, it's like, well, it's what everybody thought. So overall, the Chargers right now, I know we joke about the fans, the stands and everything, is what it is. There's a lot of really diehard Chargers fans out there, and big shout out to all of them. I do know quite a few, and especially here in Southern California. And overall, they're a good team with a good fan base. They just, they just got to show up more to the games. I'm just kidding. But no, I think in SoFi Stadium, they're going to be, not just having more fans come out, but of course making more fans. And overall, the Chargers just got to get it together. That's all there is to it. I can't say anything nice about them or anything mean about them. I just got to tell them exactly the way it is. Just get it together. If you guys aren't getting it together, there's no victories. That's all there is to it. So, or at least minimal victories. So Herbert looks like a good quarterback, good youngster there. I'm excited to see what he can do. Also, can we go on with the Broncos here? Broncos, for real, guys. You're a few pieces away. You're letting, there are a couple players who departed this year. But overall, the Broncos right now just need a gosh damn quarterback. They get a solid quarterback in there, this team can be scary. That defense is really, really, really good. I do not like you guys, and that's all there is to it. I don't like the Chargers either, or the Chiefs. But as of right now, I would gotta say right now, I'm gonna put the Chargers back in the basement because I think the Raiders will be better than this year. And I'm gonna say we're gonna fight with the Broncos for second. I don't think the Broncos are gonna be that great either. Overall, I think it's gonna be a lot of like last year. And the Raiders are going to be pretty okay. The Broncos are going to be pretty okay. The Chargers are going to be a surprise. We don't know. But overall, we will see what those Broncos do. But the Broncos also need to fix things. Well, they need to fix the quarterback. And once they do that, I think we're going to be pretty... Well, I think they're going to be pretty okay. Overall, the Chiefs, we already know who the damn Chiefs are. Okay, they're a good team. They're solid. They're tough. They're strong. They got a lot. The Chiefs got a lot going on. So overall, look, pick up of Clyde Edwards-Helaire in the first round. I mean, the Chiefs have everything you need. Can they repeat? Of course they can. Do I want them to? You better believe I don't. Okay? Do I want the Raiders to win the Super Bowl? Of course. Do I want the Chiefs to not win the Super Bowl? Yes. Is the opposite probably, is the opposite more likely to happen? Absolutely! Okay? They have a great coach in Andy Reid. They just have a overall good team, good organization. They look good. They look strong. And honestly, I can't take anything away from them. If they repeat, you know what? Good for them. But at the end of the day, I still don't like you. And that's all there's to it. But hey, once again, football, y'all, it brings us together, and I respect them. And that's it. That's all you can hope. That's all you can hope for, and they respect you back. At the end of the day, it's just a game. We love it, but it's just a game. And we all know that no matter what, we all love football. And that's the victory, is getting football. So, with that said, y'all, that is going to do it for the Raiders season preview with me, your boy Larry B. I got a little harsh in there for a little while, but then again, I wanted to pop out with a whole bunch of optimism, because I do believe in this Raiders team. And I feel that we have a lot going on right now that is in a good direction, and I'm really, really excited for what we got going. So, with that said, y'all, that is that. This is gonna be a lot of fun, guys. Like, seriously, moving forward, I'm so darn excited to talk some Raiders football here on IE Sports Radio, as well as 8 divisions in 8 days. Well, that is going to do it. 2 teams in the can, 2 teams down, and we got 30 teams to go. Well, we got 2 more to go in today's show, and we got to keep it going with the rest of the week and next week all the way into kickoff on the 10th. So, with that said, that will do it for some Raiders football And on to the Broncos. You're listening to 3 and Out, 8 Divisions in 8 Days, AFC Week, AFC West Day, right here on IE Sports Radio, your directory for all that is sports. Be right back after this.
Welcome in to the Neutral Zone. I'm your host, Robert Kavanaugh, and you're listening to IE Sports Radio. If you like big, nasty hits, if you like slap chop straight to the neck, if you like it when the gloves hit the ice and the big boys get down, then this is your show. On IE Sports Radio, this is the Neutral Zone. May our shots on goal always be true and straight to the net. If they are not, may they be followed up, redirected, or change collected. Let's go on IE Sports Radio with me, your host, Robert Kavanaugh, and this is the Neutral Zone.
Motorsports takes many forms, and there's one show on IE Sports Radio that's ready to cover it all.
I sure hope you're talking about you and I, Daryl, because I know the Extra Mile is the best place to go for everything motorsports related.
Yes, it is. From NASCAR to IndyCar to sports cars to everything in between, IE Sports Radio has everything covered for the fastest sport in the world.
Plus, don't forget all of our random shenanigans along the way.
That's right, Caitlin. So for plenty of motorsports coverage and plenty of Caitlinisms, check out The Extra Mile on IE Sports Radio with Daryl Kinsey Jr. and Caitlin Seam, Thursdays at 8 p.m.
Welcome back, football fans. Well, here we are, day number 1 of 8 Divisions in 8 Days, right here on 3 and Out on IE Sports Radio, your directory for all that is sports. We just finished talking Chargers and Raiders. Well, here we are now with the third team of this broadcast here today. We're talking about the team that plays a mile high. You go up there, breathing probably isn't going to be the easiest thing. Regardless, this team is certainly on one, and the future really looks bright. They look like they are just a good, solid quarterback away from yet another really good run. Ladies and gentlemen, we're talking none other than the Denver Broncos, and to help me talk about that here today, we're going to have one of two. We'll have another guest splitting this segment in half. Let's talk the first part of this segment here today. Ladies and gentlemen, she, of course, is a writer for the Mile High Report and all-around great person. She has been on this station for many years. She's back on the ballot this year for the IE Sports Radio Hall of Fame. Ladies and gentlemen, welcoming the one, the only, Miss Lori Lattimore Volkman. What's going on, Lori? How you doing?
I am doing great, Larry. I swear I need you to announce my introduction when I walk into class, all right?
Lord, I can record that for you in a ring. I'm free of charge.
Yeah,
I will
let's do it.
that because I mean, come on now. Like the students, I'm telling you, like there may be some getting hyped. There may be some going, wow, okay, that was okay. This semester's gonna be different. This semester's gonna be a little different.
Wow, didn't expect that.
Right. So with that said, Lori, I don't have a bunch of time, but I'm glad that you are here today. Let's go ahead and first things first, talk a little bit about last year. The Broncos. You know what? Last year wasn't a horrible year. It wasn't the best, but it wasn't horrible. So let's talk a little bit about last year, what you thought, what you saw, and really what's giving you a little more hope. No, let's leave that last part off because we definitely want to get to that at the end. Of course, what you want for this year or what your expectations are. But talk a little bit about last year with the Broncos.
Well, last year was almost like 3 different seasons in one for the Broncos. We started off 0-4 with a brand new coach and new offensive coordinator, new defensive coordinator, and Joe Flacco as our quarterback, which, came with a lot of controversy or at least a lot of debate whether it was going to be 2012 Joe Flacco or 2018 Joe Flacco, and it turned out to pretty much be 2018 2.0. And so, it was frustrating because we knew it was going to still be a building year, but we really expected much better building early on.
Mm-hmm.
And that didn't happen. And then Flacco ended up getting hurt, or sort of injuring his neck, and so we had our second string come in, Brandon Allen, who was okay, and he won, I think, a game, and so everyone was kind of excited, like at least it's better than what we had. But then the reason he's a backup started to show in those next two games. He's not particularly mobile, a little bit more mobile than Flacco, but still just not as accurate, not as able to kind of read the defense and do anything creative. So we were all chomping at the bit for the young rookie sensation Drew Lock to come in. He had been on IR, so we couldn't have him for a certain amount of weeks, the first 8 or 9 weeks anyway. And luckily for us, he spent all that time while he was rehabbing a wrist injury, or I think a thumb injury. He was doing a lot of VR training, and he was quarterbacking through technology, and it showed. I think this year we're gonna see just how much, because he only played 5 games, but he went 4-1. He clearly loves to use his legs, and that helped a ton because defenses are fast and strong. And if you have Joe Flacco standing behind there, not moving, eventually they're going to get to him. And we don't have the strongest offensive line, especially not last year, hoping it's a little better this year. But so I think when you ask what I think of last year, I think if I look back at just the last 5 games, it was a really good season. Like we saw a young guy come in with a lot of potential, do some really good things, do some rookie things. But overall, you could tell there was potential, which the Broncos have not had for 5 years. They haven't had a quarterback where you're like, this is possibly the quarterback of the future. We thought that with Paxton Lynch, and that was a dud. And we thought, I never thought, but a lot of people were hoping Trevor Siemian would be that guy, and that wasn't going to happen. So Case Keenum we thought was going to be a bridge, and he was a disaster. Joe Flacco was a disaster. So by the end of last season, even though the record was 7-9 when we finished the last 5 games 4-1, and that was a huge improvement over the first 5 games. And so it was, I would say 2019 was a season of promise for 2020.
Hey, you know what? I definitely got to second that. You guys played great football. 7-9, you're right. I didn't even know that 4-1 to finish off the year. Not too shabby. So I'll tell you what, let's go ahead and get on this draft. But man, I feel like you guys really had a very good draft this year. Last year, I'll tell you right now, you guys drafted one of my all-time favorite linemen that I've ever seen drafted last year. And that, of course, is a young man out of Kansas, Dalton Risner. And that guy, he's making... we saw it in the Senior Bowl. Lori, we saw it in the Senior Bowl. We saw him and Lindstrom on the right side of that line dominating everybody in their path in the Senior Bowl of 2019. And wouldn't you know it, he goes on and he became a starter at one point during the year for the Broncos.
I think he started right away. We needed him right away, and so I think he started all 16 games. And he was, he clearly had some learning to do, but honestly, you could tell of all the guys out there, we probably had the least problems, penalties and mistakes from him, and if not the least, among the least. He was a star from the beginning on that line, and he's standing next to a first round draft pick from 2017 who's been less than stellar, and so by comparison, Reisner's been amazing, but even not in comparison, he's just been a really solid lineman and a really great leader, which he was at Kansas as well, so that was no surprise. But he's been great.
He really has, and I'm excited for his future. I am really a big fan of his. Lori, I'm a Raider fan all day long, but you know what? I can definitely be fans of players. Hey, at the end of the day, it's football, and that's what I'm talking about.
Right.
It brings us together, no matter what, so it brings everybody together. Doesn't matter if you're, what side of the voting poll you're on, or what ethnicity you may be or what type of dessert you like. At the end of the day, football will bring us together, right, Lori?
That is right. I hear you. Second that.
Right, so it's all good. So let's jump on into this draft, because you guys had actually a pretty darn good draft. First round, you're picking up wide receiver out of Alabama, Jerry Jeudy, one of the best freaking players I think I've come out of college in a while. KJ Hamler, a wide receiver out of Penn State, you guys. And of course, you needed some more hands, and you got some more hands. Michael Ojemudia. I don't want to butcher his name. Ojemudia. Okay, corner out of Iowa. Another corner that went pretty high. Well, actually, no, he didn't go pretty high. It was in the third round. But still, a guy that Iowa has some good football players. I watched Iowa, the Hawkeyes, absolutely just eat my Trojans for breakfast in the Holiday Bowl last year. And yeah, it was breakfast at night. How you like that? It was that's how bad it was, okay? Like, seriously, they cooked us like some eggs. It was terrible. But I do know that this Iowa team was so strong last year. And, well, you guys got a corner from that defense. Then you went ahead and from LSU, from the national champs, picked up Lloyd Cushenberry, okay, inside linebacker. And the guy's a freaking beast. We all know that. Then you pick up McTelvin Agim, I believe, or Agim, don't want to butcher his name either, but defensive lineman out of Arkansas. They were less than stellar, if you want to talk about less than stellar, but him as a player, pretty dang good, okay? Then you go ahead and pick up another really hard name to pronounce, Albert, I'm not going to even try it, because I'm going to sound like an idiot. So, tight end out of Missouri. This guy is, I didn't know too much about him, but he's an SEC tight end, not too shabby. Let's see what we can pick up here, see if you guys can restore, at least get some depth there. Justin Strad, I believe, linebacker out of Wake Forest. I'll be honest, I don't know much about him or the rest of these guys on the list, but I'm just going to continue to go on here. Looks like Latane Muti, linebacker out of Fresno State in the 6th round. Tyree Cleveland out of Florida, wide receiver. And then the last pick was Derek Tuska, I believe, edge rusher out of North Dakota State. So overall, talk about this draft, Lori, and talk about how the players that you think can be an immediate impact, the players that you think could be a long-term. I mean, what do you personally think about this draft?
I loved the draft. I thought it was, like you said, it was what we did is we got players we thought we really needed in particular to help Drew Lock, give him more weapons so that we have a fast offense, and we got fast with Jerry Jeudy. And so far in camp, he's really proving to be a first-round pick. Like, he should be able to jump into the lineup and even, be tough on defenses from the get-go. He's so darn fast, and he runs such good routes that he can throw guys off on when you talk about turning on a dime, he literally can do that. He just cuts back, and you're like, whoa, where'd he go? So I think he will be an immediate contributor, which we need. KJ Hamler, I think it was likely he'd play, probably in the slot. He's actually hurt with a hamstring right now, so he probably won't start the first few games anyway. But there's a lot of talk that it'll be his second year where he's probably used more, I would say, with more, frequency. And then Ojemudia, I don't think he'll be playing a lot. I mean, I'm sure he'll sub in this year, and of course it'll depend a lot on injuries. But we're hoping that our cornerback spot, which was probably the only weakness in our defense really last year, we hope that we keep the top two guys healthy. We're kind of looking for that third guy right now, and so I believe Ojemudia will be he'll be the 5th or 6th guy. He'll be down the depth chart, get some playing time, but we're not looking for him to be an immediate starter and contributor. Mm-hmm. Let's see who's next on the list.
Let's see here.
We did get a tight end, Albert O. We call him.
Albert O. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, say that name 10 times fast. Okwuegbunam. It's a good one. He's going to be great. The tight end position, I think people forget this. I know Broncos fans forgot this last year because Noah Fant was our first-round pick last year, and he struggled the first half of the season, and then he came on really strong, and all this talk was like, finally he's doing something, and the tight end has to learn 2 playbooks, essentially. They have to learn the playbook for the routes, like the receivers, and then they have to learn the playbook like the offensive line. So it's a really tough position, and you're coming in, to the NFL, and the NFL's already faster, and the defenses are faster, and so it takes time to develop that one when you're a rookie. So I think Alberto will be a great tight end. He's a big guy. He's fast. He was a favorite target of Drew Lock's at Missouri, and so they've got a natural connection, and he's been doing well in camp, but I wouldn't look for him to be a major contributor just yet, but I do think he'll play. I think we'll definitely see him. And Netane Muti, from what we can tell, he might even get some playing time. He's just super strong. So as long as he had some, I think, knee injury issues, which were a concern and probably why he wasn't taken much higher in the draft. But as technique and strength wise, he's the real deal. So hopefully, knock on wood, cross your fingers, whatever. He stays healthy, and I think he'll eventually be a great guy on our line.
That's what I'm talking about. You guys really had a pretty decent draft, Lori, and I'm really excited for that. Now let's go and jump on in to the free agents, because there were some departures and there were some really good pickups here. So I know for the sake of time we're kind of speeding through this, but I gotta jump into these guys who were departures. Of course, Chris Harris, he leaves to be a Charger. Connor McGovern, he's on to be a Jet. Will Parks, safety, he's on to be a Philadelphia Eagle. And there were a good amount of others. Joe Jones, he resigned, of course, was pretty cool. Joe Heath, pretty cool. But Wolf, that's a tough one, man. He was such a monster on the defensive line, playing at nose tackle. Well, he's on over to Baltimore, which, of course, Baltimore, they want to suck up all of the defense they can, because that's just the type of team they are.
That's right.
They are a defensive team, and he's going to fit in really well over there. Bummer he's not playing for you guys no more, but still, Jeremiah Ochtu, he's coming back, and long snapper KC Creeder is now a Giant. Now, yeah, those are the departures, but, of course, Joe Flacco released, we know that, but moving on over, and it's all courtesy of DenverBroncos.com, by the way, the pickups, pretty darn awesome. The guys picked up Graham Glasgow out of Detroit. Then Jeff Driscoll is coming on over from Detroit as well. He'll be bringing his buddy Graham. Okay, then you have Nick Vannett, which I think is freaking huge. Okay, he's a very good player coming out of Pittsburgh from the Steelers. Then Melvin Gordon. I think this is like one of the highlights of the year for all football fans looking at this, because of course former Charger, issues happen, blah 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 blah, and now he's ended up on a rival team, which is pretty cool. And then Sam Martin coming over from Detroit. So you guys had like the Detroit boys coming on over, okay, with a punter as well from Sam Martin. But talk about as many of those as you would like to, Lori. I guess go ahead and talk about the pluses and maybe even the minuses about this free agency.
Yeah, and I'm going to add, he isn't technically a free agent, which is why he's on the list, but we also got A.J. Bouye in a trade with the Jaguars. So I think A.J. Bouye, so I mentioned the quarterback position. We lost Chris Harris Jr. Last year, Chris Harris Jr. was the only guy. I mean, and then we had a carousel of backups trying to fill the number 2 spot, because Bryce Callahan, who we had brought in, ended up being on injured reserve the whole year. And so this year, Bryce Callahan looks to be healthy, and A.J. Bouye has come in, and both of them are so far just doing great. Like as the number 1 and 2 quarterbacks, they look like great replacements for Chris Harris Jr. and Aqib Talib, from 2 years ago. And so I don't think we quite have that partnership yet, or that, I would say that, duo that was so amazing. But we do, I think we have a really good quarterback position there. So that Bouye was a big add. And then I agree, Melvin Gordon, a lot of people were complaining about his contract because he's making a ton of money, and we already have Phillip Lindsay. But with our offense, the more players you have who can move the ball, the better you are.
Yes.
So I never argued the contracts much. I figure sometimes I could see making a case for that kind of thing, but the front office has to figure that out. And I'm just looking at players and going, is that good for our team or not? And I think Melvin Gordon is good for our team. So good for our offense, good for Drew Lock. I mean, both Melvin Gordon and Phillip Lindsay, but especially Gordon, are known for, catching passes in the backfield. And so that just adds more options for Drew Lock, and especially more passing options, which, is going to be good for our O-line. So that's good. Let's see who else. Oh, Glasgow. That's a huge get. I mean, we needed to fill in some help on the O-line. When I look at our O-line right now, if everyone stays healthy, because a couple of those guys are battling a few soft tissue injuries. If you have Lloyd Cushenberry, we didn't mention him, but we drafted Cushenberry out of LSU, and he's looking like he could possibly be a starter at center right away, and if not right away, sometime this season. And that's good, because we did lose Connor McGovern, and the center is such an important piece of the offense that you need to have a really smart and solid guy in there. So let's see, I think we'll have him. We have Dalton Reisner coming in year 2 as a leader and both on the field and in his play. I mean, in the locker room and on the field, I should say. And then we have Graham Glasgow on the other side. So those three are really the backbone of our O-line. And then hopefully Garrett Bowles on the left tackle can hold it together let me say that, literally not hold on every play like he's used to.
Oh my gosh.
And then on the right side, we lost, we had, oh my goodness, I'm blanking on his name, but we had one guy opt out for the COVID-19, opt-out potential, and that was our right tackle, and he was really, he was a veteran, really good, and so we have Elijah Wilkinson filling in, and that's suspect. So we need Glasgow, Cushenberry, and Reisner to really be, solid, and so that means Glasgow is really kind of holding down that right side. So the free agent pickups we got were great, and so far in camp they seem to really be, contributing right away and jumping in and doing what we expected them to do. So that's good.
And you know what? Seriously, this team is really, the Broncos are getting right back to themselves. I mean, it's hard to see this team not be good because of the talent. And I mean, really, John does a great job at the top. And realistically, there always is a lot of moving pieces. But regardless, the Broncos are usually pretty dang solid no matter what, year in and year out, at least for the last decade or so. So they've been a pretty tough team. So moving forward now, Lori, into this year. I just want to get into, your thoughts. We talked about the offseason. We talked about last year. He said, there's a lot of positives pulled from last year. Now you have the youngster at quarterback. Things are looking pretty good. You want to surround him with weapons. You had a pretty darn good draft. Free agency was pretty awesome. Now you have Phillip Lindsay, who, of course, is a absolute freak of nature, beast running back. And you know what? Now you added another piece now. With Melvin Gordon. So it's like, you know what? Realistically, this team has quite the shot. I know we have, I'm a Raider, you're a Bronco. Okay, we have the Chiefs in the division, of course, the defending Super Bowl champions. I mean, overall, with this year, what is a realistic view from a true diehard like you, Lori? Give it to us. Let us know. Let all the Bronco fans out there know. What exactly are you expecting from this team this year?
Well, I am expecting. To be honest, I am expecting playoffs, but that some of that is always couched in the usual, as long as we don't have major injuries, because that will really, we have some depth, we have better depth than we've had, but we don't have depth that can just keep keep the train rolling at the same level if it comes to that. So we're still kind of one of those teams that you're an injury away from being a losing team versus a winning team, losing record versus a winning record. And so I really do believe, though, this, because we have had a losing record the last 3 years in a row, that this will be the year that we definitely get 9 or 10 wins. And I'm really looking at 10 wins. That's kind of my thing. Because I think generally if you go 10-6, you usually can make the playoffs. So that's what I'm looking for. I think we have a quarterback, as I mentioned, who is a quarterback to build around, which they did in the draft. And so now we have a quarterback with tons of offensive weapons. We have Cortland Sutton and Jerry Jeudy, both Jerry Jeudy's looking to be like he's going to be a great NFL receiver. Courtland Sutton has proved that he is well on his way to being one of the greats for the Broncos and possibly, across the NFL. And we have Phillip Lindsay, who you cannot slow that kid down. No matter who else you bring in or what else you do, he just keeps running through people. And so with him and Melvin Gordon, I think we have sort of the true two-pronged running attack. We have two different types of runners who can both be very effective against any defense, which is going to make it tough for a defense to defend the run. And some days it might be Phillip Lindsay's day, and sometimes it might be Melvin Gordon's day, but we will have a good running attack. And so I think that the ceiling is really high for this offense, even though it's very young and pretty untested overall. And then the defense, we didn't talk about it. We got Jarrell Casey, and Jarrell Casey is a beast on that line. And so Bradley Chubb comes back from injury. Him and Von Miller are looking strong and lean. The line, we got Jarrell Casey, and even though we lost Derek Wolfe, I don't think that line is going to take a step back at all. In fact, I think it'll take a step forward because those guys are all looking like they're picking up where they left off last year, and our defense was a highlight by the end of the year, easily. So, I think I think we're looking at a defense that we're going to have a much better secondary. So we're going to improve on like the turnovers, which was something we weren't very good at last year, which should help with the sacks. And I think we're going to have an offense that can score more than 15 points a game, which will help us win games. So I think all good. I know this year is going to be interesting for every team because of the way the offseason went, and so much offseason preparation was done over Zoom meetings and just reading your playbook. And so it's going to really be up to players who really did a lot of work on their own so that they're ready in the very shortened training camp time period that we've had, and those who stayed very, fit and healthy, because without having that kind of extended time with OTAs and then mini training camp and having that work before the main training camp could be devastating to players' bodies. And so I'm hopeful that this season goes well for all the teams and they stay healthy and they stay on the field. And then it's just going to be, which team prepared the best, which is, that's always the case. It's like a stupid thing to say, except I think this year it'll show who's really prepared with their playbook, because that's going to be the difference. That's what, that's all you had to do, or all you were able to do basically from February to June, or July.
And you know what? That is, perfectly way to even close it out, because you're absolutely right. This team the Broncos have seen their share of, crap in the last couple of years where it's like, okay, what are we? Are we a playoff, because this is a playoff team, or are we a team that's going to be so close yet so far? And then, oh, wait, no, never mind, we're a Super Bowl team. You know what I mean? So it's the Broncos have been so up and down in the last decade. It is so crazy to think of how up and down they've been.
Well, even the thing is, when we had Peyton Manning, we were up, even though we weren't, even though we had a bad Super Bowl and we didn't go to the Super Bowl every year, we were in the playoffs, and then once Peyton Manning retired, and we all realized what a big deal Peyton Manning actually was, even though his last year was not his greatest throwing year, we realized, that guy was pretty good still. He still had a pretty good football head, didn't he?
Yeah.
So, which I was always preaching that. I was like, you guys don't understand. He may be throwing wobbly passes, but he is still dissecting that defense faster than anybody. So don't come at me. Yeah. I got you. But anyway, I was proved right, and I feel fine about it.
And you were very correct.
But we have struggled in the last 5 years, and we we've still had Von Miller, but we've missed certain pieces on the defense. We lost some key defenders right after the Super Bowl that, again, you think you can just plug someone in, but you can't always, Mm-hmm. It isn't always. Malik Jackson turned out to not be that easy to replace.
Yes.
It's been a tough couple of years, But I think last year what we saw was a group of guys that was they had really good chemistry and really good team cohesion, even in the midst of so much adversity. And that actually will pay dividends this year when, again, it's an odd year. It's an odd time to try to make that team cohesion happen in such a short amount of time when you don't have a whole off season to do it. But you need to have good leaders, good veterans, and the Broncos do have that. So putting that together with some really great talent, I think is going to bode well.
I agree. So, okay, Lori, we've kept you even longer than we were supposed to. I'm so sorry. But here's the very tail end, and this is always the fun, short, hilarious, could be respectful series. We did it last year, and we're doing it again because it was a lot of fun. Lori, this is your chance, even me as a Raider fan, to stick it to the rest of the division and just, talk a little crap about the other three teams that you like to not like so much. So with that said, and of course you can end it with saying all kinds of good things about the Broncos, however you want to do it, but with that said, this is a little segment we like to call Stick It to 'em!
Speaking of no home, Vegas is great, but it'll be fun to see if you can actually do anything in a season in their bets than they are in their team. So good luck out there.
It's true. I'm sorry. It's so true. Oh my gosh. I didn't, you know what, Lori? Something happened. We glitched. I am so sorry. Okay, apparently there was some kind of a glitch that went on with the Spreaker studio, but it's okay. We are back. Okay, I'm gonna need you to start over with the Chargers and go get to the Raiders because I don't want to miss this. It glitched and apparently I didn't catch any of that. So one more time, Lori, stick it to them.
All right, well, I will start with the Chargers because they don't have any fans and they need a little love. But the Chargers, their only advantage this year in the AFC is that they are used to no fans. They're used to having their home games be a home game for the Broncos, probably even the Raiders. I don't know. I don't care about either one of them. But I do know that when it comes to play in the Chargers, we will still own them like we do every year. Even when we've been bad, we have owned the Chargers. When it comes to the Raiders are heading to Vegas, and good luck with that because you are not going to find those mean, nasty fans in the stands with their bad grammar signs cheering you on. You're going to have a bunch of people just hoping they covered their bet, and they don't really care what you do. They're going to just be interested in the money. So good luck. And then, the Chiefs. So, yeah, whatever. Super Bowl champs, I don't care. Patrick Mahomes, yes, you're awesome. I know you are. It's hard to hate you. I can't, hate you like I hate Tom Brady. But here's the thing. You'll find it's a whole lot harder to do it 2 years in a row. And the Broncos are coming for you. This year, Bradley Chubb and Von Miller are going to bring you down and bring you down hard. So get used to it. It's going to be like that.
Woo, hey, some fire, some thunder, whatever you want to call it. I hit the sound effect right now for some thunder earlier, and that's what glitched us, so I'm not going to hit another sound effect. But I will tell you right now, that was awesome, and that's how we do it, y'all. So with that said, Lori, like I said, I've kept you way too long, but thank you so much for today. You have been absolutely awesome, as you always are. You know the drill. Go ahead and plug yourself. Of course, Mile High Report, everything you would like to, where all these diehard Broncos fans can find you on Twitter. Go ahead, plug yourself, have some fun.
Thank you. You can find my work on milehighReport.com. That's SB Nation's Broncos blog. You can find me on Twitter at DocLLV. And you can also find our Mile High Report Twitter at Mile High Report. And last thing is, I do a podcast on Mile High Report called Something Something Broncos. And we mostly just make jokes and laugh. It's cool.
You know what, Lori? I didn't even know you did that, but now I know that you did. Please send me the link. And if you'd like to, we can record a commercial for you and play it throughout our network. How's that sound?
Oh, that's awesome. All right.
I'd love to do that because, hey, so you have been supporting IE Sports Radio, Lori, for seriously the last 4 years. And I honestly just got to tell you, your support is awesome. You are awesome as a person and as a Bronco fan. And, hey, but once again, y'all, this is what football does. It brings you together because this is a Raider and a Bronco getting along very well. I'm just saying, so... This is what football does.
Thank you so much.
You are very welcome. Take care. God bless you and your family. Have a wonderful rest of your day, and I will look forward to speaking with you soon this year for the Broncos.
Sounds good. Thank you.
Anytime. Take care.
All right. Bye, Larry.
Bye. That was, once again, Miss Lori Volkman. She is amazing. Gonna give her a round of applause. My apologies for the glitch there, guys. I don't know what happened. It was freezing on me. I was like, great, I think we lost her, but then we didn't. So We are good, but that will do it. I said we were going to have 2 Broncos fans. I did, but fortunately enough, Lori got to stay a little bit longer, so I don't have to get a second Broncos fan to fill in that space. So that was it for the Broncos this year. Lots of awesome information and lots of diehardness. Yeah, diehardness. How you like that? From Miss Lori. She's awesome. So once again, y'all, Miss Lori Lattimore-Vulcan. She was amazing. She's awesome. She's amazing. Go check her out. Go check out all of her work. Give her a follow on Twitter. Check out her blog. Check out her podcast. She does her thing. And definitely a big-time Broncos fan. So anyway, y'all, with that said, that will do it. We have one team to talk about. The team that she's... the team that Lori says that those defensive ends are coming after. That's, of course, Mr. Patrick Mahomes. He's playing for those Kansas City Chiefs. So we have one more team to go today, and then we will have 28 teams to go after this. Can you imagine that? We're already, this is awesome. We're moving along. First day into 8 divisions in 8 days, and we're having ourselves a party. It's the AFC West right here on 3 and Out, 8 divisions in 8 days, right here on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that sports. We'll be right back talking about those Kansas City Chiefs.
What's good, fight fans? It's your boy, Marcus Los Great, here to give you what you want, here to give you what you need. Yeah, man. Yeah. I'm coming to you live, straight from your mama's basement with a crispy, awesome white tea. We are coming to you live every Tuesday at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Powered by IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports.
Were you listening to a great game on USRN, but then the Wi-Fi crashed in the final seconds? Or do you simply want to listen to the best calls we here at USRN have to offer? Well then, you need to go check out our Audio Boom page. It holds a collection of our best calls that you don't want to miss. How do I get there, you ask? You can download the Audio Boom app and look up Ultimate Sports Radio, or simply go to audiobook.com/Ultimate Sports Radio. And as always, thanks for listening and making USRN one of the most talked about sports networks on Mixler.com.
Hey, what's up, BS3 sports fans? If you love listening to the BS3 Sports Show, check out the Weekend Wrap-Up every Monday at 12:15 Central Time, 1:15 Eastern, recapping the weekend in sports like you never heard it before. Comedy, interactive chat room, it's a must-listen. Weekend Wrap-Up on Spreaker.com, part of the X Squad. Check it out. You won't be disappointed.
Welcome back, football fans. Well, as we've mentioned, the defending Super Bowl champions, of course, which makes them the defending. Well, not always does it go this way, but it certainly went this way last year. The defending AFC West champions. Of course, the defending AFC champions, and of bringing Lamar Hunt home, by the way, and the defending Super Bowl champions who got a chance to hoist that Lombardi for the first time in a long time. Ladies and gentlemen, it is time for those Kansas City Chiefs. That's right, y'all. Day number 1 is almost concluded in 8 Division 8 days, and well, here we go. ending it off with the champs themselves. And who do we have here to talk about those Chiefs? Well, we got a special guest, a guy that I met through playing Madden. Yes, I met him on Twitter, but it was through Madden. And it's so cool to think that he's actually he works pretty darn late, and this was recorded last night around 11 p.m. my time and 1 p.m. 1 a.m. his time. So I couldn't think of enough for making the time right after work to come on over here and well, not to come on over here, but to call in, and we recorded this thing pretty late. But without further ado, glad to have him a part of this for the first time, and hopefully the first time of many, ladies and gentlemen, all the way from Mizzou. He is.
Oh, whoa.
What's
Not Mizzou.
What's that? Hey.
Rock Chalk Jayhawk.
I stand corrected. Rock Chalk. Hey, man. My boy Kevin Young got to play for that team, man. Hopefully you know who that is. But
oh, of course.
Yep, all the way from Paris, California, which is right where I am. So, yep, he KK, man, big fan of his, and he wore number 40 for playing with you guys, and I'm glad he's a part of the Puerto Rican team now, and he's doing big things. But with that said, y'all, welcoming in, let me rephrase that, Rock Chalk, Kansas, y'all. That's right, he is, of course, quite the Kansas City fan, repping all KC teams, and you better believe he's a gigantic Chiefs fan. Ladies and gentlemen, welcoming here for the first time of hopefully many, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Robert Dillon. What's going on, Rob? How you doing tonight, man?
Good, a little tired, 8 hours, but I'm here. always ready to talk Chiefs.
Hey, man, that's what I'm talking about. I'm glad you could make it here tonight. This is quite the journey you guys have had. I mean, before we even get into anything, Robert, this is always a fun, for the first timers, I love to do this. Go ahead and tell all these listeners, man, all the Chiefs fans out there in Chiefs Kingdom, and all these football fans listening right now, how long you've been a Chiefs fan, how you became a fan, and your whole story of your fandom.
Oh, I've been a fan since the moment I was born. If I would have chosen any other team, I probably would have been disowned. Sadly, my first football game was not a Chiefs game. It was actually a Colts-Jets game. My dad lived in Indianapolis. He wanted to take me to a game. That just happened to be what was going on that weekend when I was in town. But my first ever Chiefs game was actually kind of a cool one. It was Chiefs-Bears. I believe it was in 2003. It was the year Priest Holmes actually set the season record for touchdowns, rushing touchdowns. I was at the game. I actually took a picture of him as he galloped over the goal line. That picture is actually framed in my dad's office. He's supposed to be sending me a copy, but that's been a decade now. But as long as I can remember, I've been to Chiefs games, trying to hit every stadium. Money's a little tight lately, but I've hit a bunch. Can't wait to go out to Vegas to see Patrick Mahomes' second home. I watched it get built. I was actually in Vegas for the Super Bowl, but they were still building it, and I could see it from my hotel window. Go to L.A., visit California, see the Chargers. In an actual football stadium. That'll be different. Denver, been out to Denver. Seen them in Indy, obviously. Just trying to check off all the stadiums on the list. Was going to get season tickets this year, but due to the pandemic and winning the Super Bowl, that is ungodly expensive to get a ticket to a Chiefs game this season. So I have to wait a year or two on that. Just as long as I can remember, I've always been a fan. I grew up idolizing Tony Gonzalez.
Nice.
So, and 30 years of extreme fandom.
Well, I'll tell you what, man. Let's go ahead and give that an applause. I hit that applause button, man. Mr. Dillon here is quite the Chiefs fan, y'all. So that's pretty awesome. Gonzalez is definitely one of the best there ever was. I mean, Priest Holmes, you got to watch that man run the ball. That's legendary on its own. So I'm just saying, this is amazing and awesome stuff, man. So glad to have you here, part of the show, and this is going to be a lot of fun talking about the team who won it all last year. And, well, we didn't have to wait this year at all because I wanted to shift around the days. Of course, as you guys know, it used to be AFC North, AFC West, AFC East, and AFC South. That's the way I used to write everything down when I used to record my stats when I used to play Madden and NCAA back-to-back and draft my classes back when I was in high school, in my early days of college. Of course, I don't do it no more. I'd probably still be doing that on my spare time if I even have the time, which I probably don't. Well, which I don't now. But that's the order they used to write it in. I used to be like, oh, hell no. West last? No, I'm sorry. Because that's how it used to be. So, of course, as a Raider fan and as a, in the West, just gotta say, I mean, regardless, I was like, no, we're not last. So, anyway, with that said, I am switching it around, though, now, as everybody can see that. I'm putting, basically, whoever won it all, NFC or AFC, whichever goes first. So as you can see, AFC week is this week because the AFC won it, and NFC week is next week. Well, if it would have been an NFC team who wins it, it would be this week in the division. Whoever that team belonged to would be first. So that's the reason why we're going AFC West first this year, not AFC North. And it's subject to change. I think we flipped up with AFC last year or the year before that. We switched up AFC week and NFC week. NFC week going first. But anyway, without the history lesson of IE Sports Radio and 3 and out, 8 divisions in 8 days, let's get it going here and conclude day number 1 of 8 divisions in 8 days, talking about the Super Bowl champions, saving the best for last of the division, at least from last year. First things first, man. Let's talk a little bit about last season, Dylan. I'll tell you right, man. Sorry about that. What can I say? I'm used to calling last names, so Robert, that is. So thank you, man. Once again for being on today's show, and let's go ahead and get on into last season. So, you guys had about as dream season as you can have. You have this youngster, Patrick Mahomes, out there just wrecking havoc. The guy is throwing the ball floating on his side. The guy is just doing all these amazing things. He had a deal, from what I understand, with Hines. If he threw 57 touchdowns, he get Hines for life. I'm just saying, this guy, I don't know if that was the year before, but he was doing amazing things. I mean, and nobody even really knew him. He flew under the radar. Same thing here, Texas Tech. I didn't really even know who he was. And this guy comes in and just makes things happen. What a monstrous talent he is. But yeah, all last year, you guys had an amazing season from start to finish. So, I know it's not really realistic to go through the entire season in just a few seconds, but if you could just give us the highlights of how you felt from beginning to the middle to the end, all to the playoffs, and then the Super Bowl, it would be greatly appreciated, man.
All right, well, we'll start at the beginning. The entire city's collective stomachs hit the floor when Tyreek Hill got injured week 1. But Sammy Watkins went ahead and balled out and kind of had his one good regular season game. So kept our spirits up. Then we had some guys, Pringle and Robinson. They held up their end of the bargain. We got through it, and they were like, "All right, Tyreek's back. We're good to go." And Patrick blows his knee out. And you look at that injury, and you're like, "That's the season. We're done." I mean, he's not coming back from that. And he, 3 weeks, 4 weeks maybe, without looking through my microscope to check out on it, but he was back and he shouldn't have been. But you could tell the first couple weeks back he wasn't at full strength. We got bit by the Titans and by the Texans, but we ended up getting our revenge on that later. We'll get to that here in a second. We're going through and we're like, all right, the division's pretty well locked up. The division's not really all that strong. A lot of young, good talent, but they're not there yet. And I still don't think they're there yet. They're getting there, but Phillip Rivers isn't someone to be afraid of because, what we say in Kansas City, Phillip Rivers is going to Phillip Rivers, and he does that a lot. And now they get to deal with that in Indy. So we get to, week 17, and we want that bye week. We need that bye week, try and get everyone healthy. Patriots got it locked up. There's no way we're going to get that second bye. And then we get some Fitzmagic, and hell freezes over, apparently. And the Dolphins beat the Patriots. And if you're watching the game in Kansas City, which I'm not sure you were, or if you had the CBS feed from wherever you watching the game, but we had the double call. Our game was being called, and we were blowing out whoever we were playing. And we were getting the call of the Miami game while our game was going on. And that was pretty spectacular because we had the lead. I believe we were playing the Chargers, actually. We had the lead. We were pretty safe. And then we find out Miami actually beat the Patriots. And we're like, holy crap, we get a bye week. All we got to do is get by Lamar Jackson. If Lamar Jackson has proven anything in his career, it's that he can't beat Patrick Mahomes. He hasn't done it yet. He should have done it. Can't quite close the door on that. So, like, all right, all we got to worry about is the Ravens. They'll be fine. They got beat by the Titans. So we're out of the picture. We're going in, we're like, all right, we've got this. We got to get by the Titans and the Texans. That's all we got to worry about. So we go up against the Texans. We're down 24-0. It's not even halftime yet. And collectively, we were done. We were like, all right, this is what we do every year. We have our opportunities, and we blow them. Halftime comes along, and we're winning the game, which that's not supposed to happen when you're down 24-0 in the first half. You've watched a lot of football just like I have, Larry. That doesn't happen.
It does not happen. Unless it's circling the wagons with the Oilers, okay?
I mean, when Bill O'Brien's your head coach, I guess that can happen. But 24-0 lead, you shouldn't lose that game, and you shouldn't have the lead lost before halftime.
Yes.
So we come out of that, and we're ecstatic. We're like, cool. Don't know how that works, but thank God Patrick Mahomes is our quarterback. We figured it out.
Mm-hmm.
We go up against the Titans. Again, down double digits. We're like, God, why is this happening again? And the Titans are a better team than the Texans. So we're like, it's happened before. It can happen again, but it happened again.
Mm-hmm.
We're pretty thrilled about it. We end up winning the game fairly comfortably. Again, it shouldn't really happen. We've got a young coach over in Tennessee, but they've got talent there. They should be someone to fear. One of the few teams in the AFC to actually look into. AFC is kind of weak this year, for being honest, Larry. And then we get to the Super Bowl. And I watched the Super Bowl in Las Vegas at the D, down on Fremont Street. Big watch party, private party, open bar, and I'm to say I partook in the open bar. Why wouldn't I? We're down. You know, it's not looking good. The 49ers are kind of wrecking us, let's be honest. It's 21-10. We're going into the fourth quarter. They're the best team we've faced all year. And sure enough, Patrick Mahomes is. And we end up winning that game by 10 points, which made a lot of people in that room I was in very upset. Made a couple of us, like myself and my dad, who was there with me, very, very happy. And spent the rest of the night just down on Fremont Street having a good time. I was having Raiders fans and Chargers fans and Broncos fans buying us drinks, which was really weird because we're not supposed to buy each other drinks. We're supposed to hate each other. That's what a rivalry is.
Mm-hmm.
But for as much heat that there is between the teams, the fans, for the most part, respect what each team has done individually.
Absolutely.
Except the Chargers. I read a weird stat the other day, Larry, and you might appreciate this as a Raiders fan. The Chargers have been to the playoffs more times than the Raiders, than the Broncos, and the Chiefs.
No bowls.
No AFC championship wins and no Super Bowl appearances.
Okay, Robert, let me stop you right there, man. Does that not sound like a Charger thing right there?
It's like, when you talk about the rivalries in the AFC West, you talk Raiders, Broncos, you talk Chiefs, Raiders, you talk Chiefs, Broncos. No one has a rivalry with the Chargers. They're just there. I mean, they played in a soccer stadium and couldn't sell it out. I mean, you watch a Chargers game on TV, and whoever they were playing had at least 60% of the stadium.
That's usually what and it could be for that side of the country. Okay.
I mean, and then they move into Raiders country. Raiders fans are all over LA.
It's so true.
So I don't know what they were thinking ownership wise of moving into enemy territory, essentially. The Raiders, I don't know if you've seen that stadium out in Vegas yet, Larry. That's a nice looking stadium.
It really is.
It's a shame we won't get to see them play in it this year. As fans, obviously.
It really is, and it's a shame that this team is so damn horrible. And don't get me going. Don't get me going. We already had the Raiders on this show for today, but I'll tell you, man, it's my lord. I'm optimistic. I really am very optimistic for this team, but at the same exact time, I've seen too much crap. Okay, to be too optimistic and be overly optimistic after just seeing how this team can just lay eggs more than a gosh dang.
It's Derek Carr. You got to get rid of Derek Carr.
I like him a lot, but unfortunately, man, he's just proven to not be the guy, which sucks. But
he doesn't have that killer in him. That makes any sense.
No, I completely agree, and Mahomes definitely does, and that's why he's such a great player.
Yeah, Mahomes has the killer instinct. Derek Carr just doesn't have it. He's not a bad quarterback. He doesn't have that instinct to put his team on his back and win a game.
No, I agree. I just hope he can develop it this year, but if he can't, then it's true. I completely agree, and we got to move on. So I completely agree. But real quick, buddies, I'd love to keep you all night, man. That'd be awesome to talk some more, to talk about at least for like a good amount of it. But I mean, we got about, let's see, about a little bit less than 20 minutes left here. But so real quick, let's jump on into some of the free agency. Okay, so I pulled it up here over thecap.com, and this is really neat. It shows everybody. It shows all the players who don't have a team this year, and the players who stay with the Chiefs, like Sammy Watkins, Travis Kelce, and let's see, Duvernay Tardif as well. But there's also the teams who went to other teams. So the players went to other teams. So I just mentioned those three. They all stayed with the Chiefs. Alex Okafor is
LDT stayed, but he did opt out this year. I don't know if you guys know this or not, but he is actually a doctor up in Canada.
Oh, wow.
And he opted out to, because of the pandemic, he felt like he was sort of better trying to be a help in his community rather than playing football. And he got a lot of respect for Kansas City for his reasoning for opting out.
That's so crazy. Who was that again?
He is a medical doctor. He has his MD, yes.
That is incredible. Who was that again?
LDT. Well,
no way.
Yeah, and he actually petitioned the NFL to let him put MD on his jersey last year, and they wouldn't let him, which is BS.
Oh, that is incredible! Wow,
yeah, he opted out to stay and work this year, and the city, and the organization supported him fully for it.
I just gave him the applause button right now, man, during the broadcast. This is absolutely amazing. I give this man so much love and respect, man. LDT, all right, that is awesome. So it says he's here with the team, but I guess not. I mean, I guess he's back in Canada, which is awesome. I didn't know he was Canada. I didn't even know he was a Canada native. But so next up here,
graduated from McGill University.
That is so cool. That is such a cool thing. So you learn something new every day, man. That's so cool. So that's really cool. So we got Alex Okafor, who also stayed. Pat Mahomes stayed. Kilgore stayed. Heaney stayed as well. We have, let's see here. Who's a couple more that stayed? Breland also would stay. Jones, of course, Chris Jones, Matt Moore, Anthony Sherman, Antonio Hamilton. We have quite a lot. Mike Pinnell stayed. Demarcus Robinson. And we have a few more. Marcus Kemp.
Suspended the first 2 games of the season.
Right. So, who was that?
Mike Pinnell, defensive tackle. He's a great run stopper.
And got suspended?
Yeah, he's out for the first 2 of the year.
Oh, well,
I don't know what he did. They won't say what he did.
Well, that sucks. Hopefully,
conduct detrimental to the league. That's all we get.
That freaking sucks. Well, hopefully everything will clear up and come back soon. But we have Marcus Kemp as well as Dion Yelder and Andrew Wiley. So that's quite a lot of guys returning. And then we have the guys from other teams who are now here. We have a Dolphin, of course, as I mentioned. Sorry, I mentioned him earlier with the team with players who stayed. But Kilgore is now a Chief. We also have here LaShawn McCoy, LaShawn McCoy is a Buccaneer now. But
yep, he's down with Dom.
That's awesome. See, that's super crazy. I mean, Taco Charlton is now a Chief. That is freaking nuts. Mike Reamers, absolutely. Jordan Lucas is now a Bear, actually. We have Cameron Irving, who is now a Cowboy. Reggie Ragland is...
Yeah, Cowboy.
Oh, absolutely.
He's a revolving door.
Well, I mean, hey, it looks like he's on his way out now. But he's in Dallas now. But Reggie Ragland, a player that I think had so much promise, is now a Lion. Of course, we know that Matt Patricia will want to pick him up immediately. Which is pretty crazy move there. Steve Wisniewski is now a Steeler, and Blake Bell a Cowboy, as well as Kendall Fuller heading on over to Washington. We have Tedrick Thompson. Let's see here. Oh, by the way, DeAndre Washington is now a Chief, which I am so mad about because I really liked him a lot with the Raiders. I didn't even know that until right now. Thank you. Adrian Colbert looks like...
That was news to me, actually.
That's crazy. I didn't even notice that. Ricky Seals-Jones is now a Chief. We have John Levitt, a Packer, and then Daniel Helm, now a Niner and now a Chief. So now that we went through all of those players right there, who do you think is the most significant pickups? Who do you think are the most significant departures? I mean, in either way, good or bad. Go ahead, man. Give us your take of the entire offseason.
As far as pickups go, none of them are really going to crack the starting lineup. As weird as that says, they'll be more of a piece players. You know, they'll have their parts, obviously, but for the most part, the core stayed tucked. Losing a Wiz up to where do you go? Pittsburgh. That kind of sucks because he was a great fill-in, and with LDT holding out, that would have been great to hang on to him. Like I said, Fuller being in Washington, I'm cool with that. He had a good first year with us, but then last year he was not great. Cam Irving, revolving door, he was no good. You mentioned Ricky Seals-Jones. I don't think he's going to make the 53. Based on some of the stuff I was reading today from The Athletic, he's not impressing all that much at tight end, which is kind of crazy. He might if he makes the 53, he's the 3 or 4. I mean, there's an undrafted dude who's just playing out of his mind at tight end right now. It looks like he's going to be number 2. I can't think of his name off the top of my head. But as far as pickups go, I mean, there's piece players, but nothing major that's really game-changing for us. We would have liked to. There was conversations that we might try and pick up Clowney, which would have been incredible. That's the best. We pick up Clowney. That's the best defensive line in the league. There's no debating that. Clowney, Jones, Clark, you can't beat that. I like what they did. They got some good, bit players. That's the word I've been looking for, bit players. But nothing, no spectacular, splash pickup. That makes any sense.
Absolutely. So I get you. So overall, not a bad free agency period. But let's get on into the gosh dang draft, man. Because you guys, it's like the rich get freaking richer. I mean, you've got to be kidding me.
Great draft.
Yeah, I know. I know. As a Raider fan, I watched and went, "Are you freaking serious?" Yeah, I know. Yeah. I watched. Yeah, I did. I know you watched too. I know that you were really happy, and I was like, seriously? So yeah. So with that said, courtesy here of ArrowheadPride.com from SB Nation, let's take a quick look here at these draft picks, because man, it was awesome. Didn't have very many picks, but man, you guys nailed it of who you needed. First things first, the first round, you guys, I mean, this was a steal. This man was going to go somewhere and do amazing things, and my gosh, he comes from a national championship winning team, and he goes to a Super Bowl winning team. I mean, you've got to be kidding me. Like, this guy has championship written all over him. And that, of course, is Clyde Edwards-Helaire out of LSU. Amazing pickup, you guys. I mean, seriously, it was.
He's going to start. Williams held out.
Well, then he's going to be starting, and he's going to do great things.
He's a starter, yeah, and he's impressed. He's been impressive at training camp.
This is awesome, and I want to see this young man's career just flourish. That's crazy. If Williams held out. I mean, but it is what it is. I guess I don't know. Andy Reid maybe may have solved this already. Who knows? But then you guys pick up linebacker out of Mississippi State, Willie Gay, a freaking beast out of the SEC. Okay, tackle Louis Niang out of TCU. Hopefully I didn't butcher his name. We have here, let's see, L'Jarius Sneed out of Louisiana Tech. Defensive end, Michael Dana, I believe, out of Michigan. And then in the 7th round, Bo Pete Keys, I believe, out of Tulane. Overall, of course, we know the later round guys, is what it is. But regardless, those first 2 picks, my gosh. I mean, actually, the first 4 picks could all be pretty nice somewhere
in there. Lucas Niang, I think he's going to end up starting with LDT holding out this year because we need that tackle spot. You got Fisher on the blind side, so we need someone over there. And I think he's probably going to end up starting on tackle week 1.
Oh, that is incredible. So overall, what do you think you personally, like, give yourselves a grade? Like, what do you think you guys really just had an amazing draft?
With the 32nd pick, winning the Super Bowl, it's hard to really do any better than what they did. Clyde Edwards, he should not have been on the board at 32. He's a tank, and he's great at catching the ball out of the backfield. Patrick went up to Andy and said, I want him. and he got him. I'd give him an A-. I would have liked to seen a little bit more, another linebacker in there. Maybe, instead of Dana in round 5, maybe pick up a linebacker in that position. But he could always, convert into linebacker. I think he's a little too big to do it, but I would have rather had a linebacker there. But other than that, I'd say, B+, A-, somewhere in there.
Okay. Must see it here in a couple... So,
very good draft. So
I think so as well. It says here from Chad Rudder, looks like, or Reuter, I don't want to butcher his name there, but from NFL.com, on this Arrowhead Pride on arrowheadpride.com here, it actually says day 1 A-, day 2 B, day 3 B, overall grade B+. I can agree. It was seriously high B, low A type of deal, and I completely agree. I'd give him A- as well, or maybe even a B+. Like, regardless, you're right. It's very hard to do better than what they did with that first pick, and that was absolutely awesome. So I am so excited for Edwards-Helaire and just for like the play. I didn't even know. I mean, I didn't know Tardif was holding out. I mean, it was crazy to think that this young man now is going to jump right on in. I mean, it's the thing. He was a 4th round pick. This tackle. So it's crazy. I mean, to think like
he's a Big 12 kid too, and Big 12 pumps out linemen.
Yeah, there's some big boys. So absolutely,
it's like SEC pumps out linebackers.
No, it's true. I can still remember Phil Lodeholt playing for Oklahoma, and I mean the guy has played for years with the Vikings. So I mean, yeah, absolutely. I mean, big boys, monsters, and you know what? Hey, sometimes you're right. They got themselves a hold of a big monster, and he's going to step in now and play some great football. So with that said, man, let's go ahead and just target now everything towards this season. You guys are coming off of your first Super Bowl since what? 69, 70? Like around there? Super Bowl 4. I mean, that is incredible. But you guys pulled it off. You got the victory. You're coming off of a Lombardi winning trophy. The Lamar Hunt Trophy finally went home to Arrowhead. And it's like so many great things happened for you guys last year. Once again, it's right. You were down in the Super Bowl. Okay, and it's like so much came out of this year. You guys battled. I mean, Andy Reid finally winning a bowl. I mean, it's like so many things, man, just happened. Andy Reid finally won the Super Bowl, and just all these awesome things happening in this one season. Very special year, very special, very, very special victory, and very special season, shall I say, for the entire city of Kansas City. I mean, not just Chiefs organization, but I mean, still, you guys just won a World Series a couple years back with the Royals.
Yep.
You guys, that was huge. That was the first time in a freakishly long time too, right? Like somewhere right around there. You guys, I don't know if you don't follow too much of those Kansas City sports, but I know that Kansas FC, the women's team, they won 2 titles in the last 10 years. I mean, like seriously, you guys
Sporting's got one in this last decade as well.
What was that?
The soccer club, Sporting KC, the men's team.
Oh, that's right, Sporting KC. That's right.
Decade as well. I think 2012 for them.
I mean, how incredible, man. Kansas City is the real deal. I mean, of course, we know Rock Chalk all day long. You expect to see them in March Madness every year and going far. I mean, it's like
they were going to win the national title, but
yeah, and I'm so bummed they couldn't play it. But yeah, man, I mean, there's so many awesome things. So just with a few minutes, Robert, just go ahead and tell us all about it, man. Tell us what you expect this year. We talked about the pickups. We talked about last season, how special it was. We talked about all the pickups that you guys, all the pickups you guys made through free agency, talk about the draft, and now let's go ahead and just get into the season and talk about, what you expect, what you personally think. Can you guys possibly do the R word? Repeat. Do you have the pieces? You as a true diehard fan, I mean, what do you really think? I mean, go ahead, man, pour it all out and tell us what you think.
All right, this is going to sound purely homerism, but the truth is they should repeat. If you look at the AFC as a whole, what's the other team in the AFC that's really got the weapons to stop a Kansas City against?
Nobody.
The defense to continue to get better. You got Tucker back there, just making everything around every player around him better. You've got the Ravens, and look at how their training camp's gone. It has not gone well. You look at even in our division, everyone's always high on the Chargers. I don't know if you heard the news today, Larry, but Derwin James is going to be out for a long time. He suffered a nasty injury today.
Oh, no.
So that's what you wanted against the Chiefs. You want to have a weaker secondary, right? I mean, there's not a team in the AFC that can really hold a candle other than talent-wise, other than maybe the Ravens. And the Ravens have proven they choke against us. They've had their opportunities to beat us both times they played. They couldn't get the job done. I don't see another team in the AFC that could really compete. Now we jump over to the NFC, and that's a completely different story. San Francisco should be good again, but they're also it could be a roller coaster, and they could have another bad year. The Bucs are completely reloaded. That wide receiver core, you put Tom Brady there. Let's see how many touchdowns that old ass arm has left in it. The Buccaneers could be a damn good team if Brady's still got talent in him. If he has it, Father Time wins everything.
Mm-hmm.
See what Brady's got left in him. The Packers, the Vikings, both of them could compete. The Seahawks could jump up out of nowhere and be competitive in the AFC. The AFC is easily the stronger of the two conferences right now. Between the AFC and the NFC, it's the NFC. I might have said that backwards. But as far as the AFC goes, I expect the Chiefs to be at least 13-3 and back in the AFC Championship game. And I expect them to win that game and go to the Super Bowl. Now, the homer in me says if they get to the Super Bowl, they're going to win. And they've got the talent to do so. They beat, the 49ers last year were the best team in the NFC. They beat the dog snot out of every team they ran across, and they earned their position as the NFC's team in the Super Bowl. And we beat them. So when you've got the weapons that we've got, the quarterback that we've got, and the defense that's getting better every week that they play, there's not really anyone who can get in the way. I do expect a repeat, and we've got the Texans coming up September 10th. The spread is 10 points. I expect us to destroy the spread, at least 14. I mean, I think we're going to beat teams down this year. We're not gonna put that target on our back and be the target. We're going to target others, and we're going to make an example out of the league that we are the team. This is Kansas City's dynasty. New England, it's Kansas City's time. They did the flag raising ceremony either yesterday or today. It's late. I worked all day. I'm not quite sure. And they showed a picture of the players on the field. They couldn't give a hot damn about that flag with the Super Bowl championship going up. They're ready for next year, and I think they're ready. And I think the league needs to be put on notice that they're coming for you.
You know what? That right there deserves an applause, man. From the defending champions, you know what? You have every right as a diehard fan to say everything you just said. And honestly, man, I'm excited for those Chiefs. I'm excited for another great year of football. Maybe my Raiders can compete, maybe they won't. But I know that you guys are for damn sure coming to compete. And I am very excited for this Andy Reid team. I'm excited for Andy Reid. I'm excited for the youngster that is Patrick Mahomes. I'm excited for that great defense. I'm excited for Edwards-Helaire. I mean, seriously, this is just awesome. I mean, Lamar Hunt Trophy, like I said, finally went home for the first time since freaking for almost forever. I mean, honestly, there's so much just surrounding that team right now. And it's just such a great thing. So I'm really excited for them. And hey, even as a Raider fan, what can I say, man? At the end of the day, you know what? You pay respect where respect is due. So with that said, this is going to do it. However, we can take a few more minutes here. We're right up on the time, but it's okay. We can go a little bit over. Because, Robert, this is something that it's a lot of fun. During 8 divisions in 8 days, every single team, at the very end of the segment, I always ask the diehard fan, which is you at the moment, this is always a great thing, because this is where you get a little bit of chance to stick it to the rest of the division. You know, the other 3 teams you just love to not like, and this is always where we have a lot of fun with it. So, you go ahead and have the floor, man. Don't go on too long now, because we are right up against the time, but it's all good. So, have some fun, man, and we'll have to call this segment Stick It To 'Em. So, you know what to do, man. End it off with a little bit of trash talk. Or maybe you want to be polite and say some nice things, that's happened before too. But however you want to say it, man. Chargers, Raiders, Broncos, if you got a little message for them, please let them know. Without further ado, Mr. Robert Dillon, stick it to him.
All right, Raiders, we know we don't like each other, but get rid of Derek Carr, you got a chance to compete. You've got a lot of good young talent. This ain't your year, though. Denver, Drew Lock's not the next one. He's a Kansas City kid. I respect him. It's not it. This ain't it. Try again. John Elway, horse face, try harder. Now, the team I really, really want to get after is the Chargers. You've heard, I've been trashing them the entire time. They're not good, and they think they're good every year. Who gets picked to win the AFC West every year? The Chargers. Who doesn't do it? The Chargers. So they had Phillip Rivers, and he's a crybaby. He's got 47 kids. He is what he is. He's a Christian man. I'm not going to shit on Phillip Rivers too much. He's a good man. But he was not clutch, and we'll put it that way. So they get rid of him. He goes to Indy. He's their problem now. So who they bring in? Tyrod Taylor. Okay. So the Chargers fans think Tyrod Taylor's the one. Oh, but then they draft Justin Herbert. I think that's who it is. I don't care because he's not going to be any good. So they think, we've got Tyrod Taylor. He's the one. He's going to lead us. What has Tyrod Taylor ever done but be a bench player on every team he's ended up on? He got benched in Buffalo. He got benched in Tennessee. He's going to get benched in San Diego, L.A. Good God. He's going to get benched in L.A. And then you're going to put in an unproven rookie to go against the defenses in the AFC West. The kid's going to die. If there's anything about the AFC West, is that we've all got good defenses. And the Broncos, good defenses. The Raiders, good defenses. The Chiefs, for not putting up any good defensive statistics, have a good defense. Look at what they did the last 7 weeks of the season going into the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
The Chargers are going to be fourth in the division. The Chargers are going to struggle to win 6 games. The Raiders and the Broncos should get to 8 or 9 games. The Chargers won't get to 7 because they're trash. The organization is trash from the top to the bottom. And I do not like you, L.A. Chargers, or your fans. And Eckler is a terrible running back. Stop propping him up, guy on Twitter. Okay.
Let me go ahead and I'm going to give you a thunderbolt in the applause button. Actually, a little laugh in the applause button. Man, that was hilarious. And you know what, man? I'm really glad you were able to come hang out tonight, man, and throw some fire out there in the whole bit. I mean, seriously, that was a lot of fun. And I'm glad we could have you on here, man. We actually have these things called primetime face-offs, and there are going to be a lot of them coming up this year, of course.
Somebody gets a Chargers fan. Come on.
Well, if we have it, okay, so let me, and that would be fun, and that'll probably be Taryn. Taryn was heard earlier in this broadcast. He was the first team up. We had him live, so I'm actually talking about him.
If they're going to play last, it makes sense.
What was that?
If they're going to place last in the division, so it makes sense for them to go first because they've got the least to look forward to.
You're cold-blooded. Well, with that said, man, we do have our actual the 3-and-out primetime face-off schedule coming up, and I don't know, I did want to take on a Chiefs fan in week number 11. I think it might be one of our own guys in the Kansas City Shuffle, our Kansas City show, or our sports show dedicated to Kansas City Shuffle, but we might just have a little bit of tag team action, and you might have to join them, and I'll have to accrue to assemble some Raiders, man, because in week 11 we're going to get it on in Las Vegas. We're playing week 11 on Sunday Night Football. I'm actually going to be calling that game live here on IE Sports Radio on our Mixer account, so I'm looking forward to that. But yeah, man, Kansas City has, you guys got Denver, so week 13, you could definitely get into that with a primetime face-off versus a Broncos fan. I know Miss Lori, who we just had on right before you, the Broncos fan, she'd probably love to take you on in a primetime face-off. I'll tell you that right now, especially what you said about Drew Lock, okay? Especially that.
I've got something special for her. Send me her Twitter link. I'll send her a nice little thread about John Elway that'll just make her. That'll make her day.
You're cold. We also got Thursday Night Football. They're taking on the Buffalo Bills, so you might be taking on a Bill that day if you want to join us. And of course. How could we forget this? Week number 1, as you just mentioned, they'll be raising the banner. That is Thursday Night Football. So our first primetime face-off of the entire season, as a matter of fact, will be on that on that Wednesday evening. Actually, I could even tell you the time. That will actually be September 9th. Wednesday evening, and I think you might just be working because you did say you usually work. Well, you work evenings into nights, which sucks. But that first primetime face-off will be 7-ish to about 7:30-ish your time on September 9th on a Wednesday.
Man, that one would be hard to make because I'll definitely be at work.
Yeah, darn it. But I'll tell you, it would be a lot of fun. But with that said, man, we definitely got to get you on on some of these primetime face-offs. And if not, you can always catch the show later on. It's always going to be a lot of fun, man. Get involved with our Twitter. We'd love to have you on more. We have to have you to retweet some of your stuff, and it's awesome, man. Also, you got to check out the Kansas City Shuffle. They do a great job talking to Kansas City.
I'm gonna follow them tonight. I thought that was you guys.
Oh yeah, they have a lot of fun, man. Those guys.
I'll give them a follow as soon as we get off here.
Oh, it's awesome, man. Pez Choir.
Next year, when all this junk clears up, we're actually out to go. We're able to go out in public and be human beings again. We're gonna have to get a lot of us together out in Vegas for do a watch party out there and something.
Oh, that would be a lot of fun. We definitely enjoy that. And hey, man, the iSports Radio family, we definitely love that as well. Whoever we can get out there. So that'd be awesome, man. So with that said, dude, I don't even care if we went a little bit over. This is what the champions get special treatment, man. We've already gone like 5 minutes over, but it's okay because the champs, you guys, like I said, get the special treatment. So with that said, before you're out of here, man, once again, Mr. Robert Dillon, ladies and gentlemen, where's my applause button, y'all? Once again, Mr. Robert Dillon, man, thank you so much for joining us tonight. Please let all these diehard Chiefs fans in Chiefs Kingdom know, man, if they're not already following you, please let them know where to find you on Twitter. Let them know where to find you wherever else you want to share. And any last thing you want to share, man, go ahead and plug yourself. Let everybody know.
All right, so the Twitter is B as in boy Dillon, DILLON 88@gmail.com. Twitter picture is me in a Chiefs jersey holding a WWE Championship belt the night we won the Super Bowl out on the Strip in Vegas. So pretty easy to find. I talk a lot about the Royals, Chiefs, Kansas. And I actually, believe it or not, I'm kind of nice to people on Twitter. And if I have a rivalry with another team and you say something and I end up agreeing with you for some reason, I will respect you enough that I will actually follow you back regardless of what team you are. There's a Chargers fan I follow because he's always got good comebacks. So that's my Twitter. Again, that's BDillon88 on Twitter. And then that's really all I've got to plug, Larry. Oh, yeah. If you ever come to Kansas City, come to Harris, North Kansas City, and come play some table games with me.
Hey,
I'm a table games dealer out there.
That's awesome, man. Hey, table games are always fun, so... That sounds like fun, man. So that sounds like a lot of fun. I appreciate the invite, brother. So, hey, man, with that said, thanks again for taking the time. I know you probably can get to sleep in a bit. I know I probably am as well. But, hey, man, the show catch tomorrow, of course. For anybody listening right now, well, this was actually, once again, previously recorded last night. But it was a lot of fun. And thanks again, once again, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Robert Dillon. Thanks again, man. Go give him a follow, y'all. Show him some love. And that will be it for Chiefs Kingdom today. So, with that said, thanks again, Robert. God bless you and your family, man. We'll talk to you soon.
My pleasure, Larry. Have a great night.
You too. Take care. Alrighty, y'all. That was once again Mr. Robert Dillon. Guys, show him some love, man. That was pretty awesome. So, listen, we did go over, but once again, special treatment, y'all, for the defending Super Bowl champions. So, with that said, that will do it. We officially have 4 teams down. The AFC West is officially now in the books for 2020, 2021, 8 divisions in 8 days. When we get back, I will give you my final weigh-in, and then we'll get on over to the AFC East coming up tomorrow. Once again, you're listening to day number 1, AFC Week, AFC West Day, 8 divisions in 8 days, right here on 3 and Out, right here on iSports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports. We'll be right back after this.
Ladies and gentlemen, hear me and hear me good. If you like sports, then you like the Wait a Minute Show. If you like comedy, then you like the Wait a Minute Show. If you like a different opinion coming from a different angle, then you like the Wait a Minute Show. So join me Saturday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time with your host, Jelani J.B. Bodie. And of course, my man Lopan on the WaitAMinuteShow.com. Ain't that right, Lopan?
Hey guys, it's Blake Henley, better known as H-Town Blake to some of you. Happy to announce that Bases Loaded is back in full force. We'll be bringing that high heat every Tuesday night here on IE Sports Radio. So come home, get ready, dig into that batter's box, and see if you can chase that high heat, baby. So we'll be coming to you live with all the stats, all the rundowns, all the division rivalries, and every team that's going to make the playoff push to get to that one and only October and get to the pinnacle of what baseball is, to hoist that Commissioner's Trophy when it's all said and done.
College football, and do you want to hear a college football show dedicated to all that is college football, including junior college and the CCAA and the NJCAA, the NAIA, and the NCAA, including Division III, Division II, Division I AA in the FCS, and Division I A in the FBS? Well, then look no further. Join myself, Larry B., and my colleagues, Mr. H-Town Blake Henley, and Mr. Christian Espinoza, each week during the college football season for the latest in college football on 3 and Out College Edition, right here on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports.
Hey, what's up, sports fans? You're looking for a different type of sports talk show, something you haven't heard before? You gotta check out the BS3 Sports Show every other Saturday on 2 Live Stews Radio, 1 p.m. Central Time, 2 p.m. Eastern. Sports talk at its finest. Always have great guests, playing some good hip-hop. You don't want to miss it. Make sure to tune in to the BS3 Sports Show every other Saturday at 1 p.m. Central Time, 2 p.m. Eastern.
Hey USRN fans, do you have a product or company you're trying to promote? Look no further. USRN is teaming up with small local businesses trying to establish themselves via online promotion. Let us know if you're interested. Email us at usrnradio@gmail.com to learn more.
What's going on, football fans? This is me, your boy Larry B, inviting you to join myself, Callum Reynolds, Mike Pat, and John Felipe for one of the most electrifying football shows you have ever heard. 3 and Out, right here at IE Sports Radio. Recap of the week before, a preview of what's to come, and of course, 3 hardcore head-to-head prime-time face-offs each week. You don't want to miss it. No, you don't. You don't want to miss it. Ladies and gentlemen, it has been a great one. Man, what a show. I just want to thank all of you for tuning in. Thank you all for showing love. And I definitely appreciate you guys in the chat room. Oh my gosh, so much fun. I'm out there getting my lift right now during those 2 recordings for Lori and sorry, Mr. Robert Dillon. I'm just enjoying all these comments. Taryn is Dad, I'll tell you right now. Freaking Taryn was ready. Taryn was ready. Mr. Robert Dillon said he would catch some heat from Chargers fans, and last night he messaged me after the interview was over, and it's true, Taryn is like not having this, and you know what, I'm loving it, man. And look at the comments right now. Taryn says, can I just say, I get hyped when I hear the intro to 3 and Out, and thank you, sir, I'm doing my best, man. Thanks again to my boy Billy, man, one of my old quarterbacks from high school / tight ends. He recorded the cadence for me, had to put a little bit of the sound effect from here, record it, and there we go. And then of course, get the intro. I'm loving the intro as well, and it's always fun stuff. So, what's going on, Ben? By the way, y'all, you gotta show some love. BS3 Radio, Ben Sutter III. This man tonight, they're having their very first ever BS3 Radio Awards. Or I don't know if it's BS3 Sports Awards, my bad, Ben, but Ben Sutter III, man, I'm telling you, every time, this man had a big part of making IE Sports Radio what it is, with helping me out, trying to get sponsors, helping me out, even getting on Spreaker from Mixler like 3 years ago. This man's the real deal, and it's only right to support him. So you heard his commercials on here today, the weekend wrap-up. You already know what's going on, man. Ben's the real deal, and you gotta show him some love, man. So tonight, tune in, 7:30 p.m. Central Time, 5:30 p.m. Pacific Time. Check it out. I think it's over. If you're in the chat room, subscribe to BS3 Radio. It'll be on there, I'm sure, or follow at BS3 Radio on Twitter and let him know that, you're there showing him some love. Let me take a quick look here. I just want to make sure. Yes, at BS3 Radio. And I even got to get a little retweet action here. There we go. Yep. First annual BS3 Radio Awards tomorrow night. Of course, it's tonight. So, gotta show them some love, y'all. Good stuff. So, okay. That was a fun show. Man, you got to hear Taryn at the beginning. You got to hear myself blabbing about the Raiders. Taryn and his Chargers. Myself and my Raiders. Then we have Lori and her Broncos. And, of course, we had Mr. Robert Dillon with the Chiefs throwing some fire at the end. Man, that was a fun show. There it is in the chat room, y'all. BS3 Radio. Facebook.com/BS3 Radio. There it is on Facebook, y'all. So go show them some love. I should have known that. I read that earlier and I didn't remember, so my bad. But here we go, y'all. The last 5 minutes. This, of course, is the outro of today's show, and this is, I'm not going to steal Ben's word, the wrap-up, but this is my final weigh-in of this year's AFC West. After listening to all the fans and even taking into consideration what I was saying, I'll tell you right now, this is not hard. It's not hard to say that this team is going to be a major factor in this year's NFL, and that is the Kansas City Chiefs. There's no way this team isn't going to go at least to the divisional round. Somebody knocks them out, then they're awesome. But overall, y'all, they're going far, and I have a feeling that they are going to make a big run for it. They may just repeat. They got, come on, man, Clyde Edwards-Helaire. This man knows all about winning championships. So I can tell you right now, that's going to be huge. Also, we have here the Broncos. They are quarterback away. Can this youngster Locke get it done? We'll see. If he does, the Broncos will be a force to reckon with as well. The Raiders, well, all we got to do is, get Carr to not, fizzle, when at any time, and get the defense to do good things. And, oh yeah, I forgot. We have a defense that needs to step up. And the Chargers, will Herbert pan out? Well, this defense is actually a pretty good defense. Will they be able to carry this team as much as possible? If Taylor or Herbert, aren't that great this year? We will find out. But what I do know is we gotta cue the music, cause we're out of here! Alright, y'all, it's the final weigh-in. It's about that time where I'll tell you all about what I think of this year. I'll tell you right now, first things first, the Chargers, my apologies, Taryn and everybody else, the disrespect, the nerve of me, as Mr. Marcus Lesgray would say, but I don't see any place for them right now but the basement. The only problem for right now is the fact that the direction of the quarterback is a tough thing. You can say the same thing with the Raiders, and I think we're in the same boat. Chargers shouldn't be that bad this year, but they shouldn't be that good either. If they go 7-9, 6-10, that's actually pretty okay. If they can go 8-8, that would be awesome. Anything above that, I think, is exceeding expectations. For the Raiders, if we go 7-9 to 9-7, to me, that's a victory. I do not see us winning 10 games. I don't even see us winning 9 games. I think 800 is right. I think 500 is where we're going to be. However, if we go beneath that, okay, we're still growing. We have time to grow. Regardless, I have the Raiders being right between there, 7-9, 8-8 to 9-7, around there. No higher. I would really not like to see lower, but is what it is. Then we're gonna get into those Broncos, who I can see are on the same exact boat as the Raiders, 7-9, 8-8, 9-7. Don't hate me, Lori, my bad, but I just do not see those Broncos being anything more than this right now. The defense is good, but can Drew Lock be that guy right now? They got a lot of good weapons. The offensive line has gotten beefed up, but will they be a pretty decent team this year to make a run? They'll be decent, but they will not be overtaking the Chiefs. And then, of course, for the Kansas City Chiefs, the defending Super Bowl champions. I mean, can we get a hand clap? This team has done so many great things in the last year. They have built Andy Reid as the man. He got his first Super Bowl. Lamar Hunt went home. The Lamar Hunt Trophy went home. And you gotta know how ready this team is. I didn't even know they had they raised the banner the other day. But I'll tell you right now, hearing what Mr. Robert Dillon said, hear what Robert Dillon said, that the players weren't even enthusiastic about the banner, that says a lot. I mean, maybe they were just tired, who knows? But at the end of the day, they weren't really caring too much. They want to win games. They want to play football, and they want to win now. And you know what? I'm all about that. Maybe they put last season in the back seat, and that's cool. That's what they should do. Remember it, feed off of it for the players that were there, for the brand new players. You weren't a part of it, so make your own. Get your own. For the other players, it should be on to the next, get another bowl, get another ring, and that's what it's all about. Ladies and gentlemen, I have the Chiefs going anywhere from 11-5 to maybe even 14-2. If this team goes 15-1, we'll find out. But I don't know about 16-0, but this team is strong. They're powerful. I don't even think 11-5 is reasonable. I think maybe they're between 12-4 and 15-1. This is a very strong, potent team. I am very excited for what they got to do. So with that said, or for the direction they're going, that is my take and that is my time, y'all. Big ups to Mr. Ben Sutton III in the chat room today, Mr. Bobby Tazinski, Mr. Marcus Loves Great, Mr. Taryn Rodriguez. Look at all of our guests today: Taryn Rodriguez, Lori Lattimore, Volkman, as well as Mr. Sorry, I'm forgetting his name at the end. Mr. Robert Dillon. I'll see y'all next week. Well, actually tomorrow. Until then, take care, and as always, God bless.